Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 316 of Spittin Chiclets, presented by Pink Whitney from our friends at New Amsterdam Vodka here in the Barstool Sports podcast family. What is up, everybody? The NHL season has officially started. A game every day for 116 straight days. We're loving it. We're betting. We're going crazy. We're gambling. But let's say hi to the gang first. As usual, producer Mikey Grinelli. How was Arizona, buddy?
Arizona was great. We missed you, RA. Now I'm back in New York City doing my 10-day quarantine. The return of Granelikov is coming, so stay tuned. Just watching a ton of hockey, like you said, RA, every day, baby. Let's go.
Couple live streams, too.
Yeah, there's the dirty dog out in the desert. Palmer's nasty, this and that. I love that. You're electric on those things, buddy.
I had to go solo because Whit ended up going home. 2 kids, guys. Come on. I can't even imagine. So I did a couple wardrobe changes. I'm sure that, the cannabis took me on a bit of a wave there, but it was a blast. They taught me how to sign into the YouTube group chat, our YouTube fans. It's like being in the locker room. Everybody, one kid was asking me to tell a story, and it was in relation to Fanny's, which was a strip club in North Bay. And he kept asking in the group chat, you go to Fanny's, you go to Fanny's. And
how crazy is the people who ask the same question 100 times?
He's a hornball because he's probably wondering if we sat in the same chair on Pervert Row, chucking toonies up there on stage to see some titties. But sure enough, when we'd gotten swept, we got swept 4-0 by the St. Michael's. I think they were the majors at the time. I don't know if they turned into the Buzzers. But I had a fake ID, a guy named Russ Moyer, who actually was an overage with the Ottawa 67s. And I think it was the first time I'd ever used it. I handed it over. Sure as shit, I got in, and I did end up going into Fanny's. And I think that was the first time I'd ever been to a strip club at the age of 16 years old.
So you think he knew you had been there first time ever, and that's why he was hounding you, or he's that perverted?
I think that it's kind of like, when like the old stadiums get torn down, you go like take the seat out. He's going to go to get the same seat we sat in on Pervert Row or some shit, put it in his fucking man cave. No, but I think he just wanted to know if I'd been to the strip club in North Bay, but I was an underager. So yes, I did sneak in one time at the end of the year. And that was, I think, my first titty joint experience at Fanny's.
How many times did you fall in love that night?
I was just mesmerized with how they smelt.
Oh,
it's
like strawberries.
Like what is it? Just brings you into this like vortex of, like you said, it's kind of like the scene out of what's the Michael Myers. Isn't there like a scene when like there's a musk in the air where Austin Powers gets all horned up or something? Or did I just make that up in my brain?
It's been so long since I watched.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out.
We'll know soon.
Shag me, babe.
I got a brick
the only
from
thing
the old...
I remember is it's like I need to take out $100 and it's a $73 ATM charge. Like, what the? Whoa, God!
I went straight cash homie with all those $40 checks every 2 weeks.
Did I tell you what happened to me the night I got drafted? We ended up going there and
to the strip club. Listen, should we introduce them?
It was my first time. It's Whit. What's up, guys? It was my first time ever going to a strip club. And, you get a lap dance, right? Well, I thought like it just ended. And I was like, this girl loves me. She 6 songs. Well, then after it was like every song's like $35 or whatever it was. I had no money. I had no credit card. I'm like, whoa. So
you thought you were paying $20 for the trip.
I was like, I signed up for, I was like one song. I thought you would have ended it. Like,
hook, line, and sinker.
Needless to say, it was like
you do the whole
over my watch or something.
You do the whole Beatles catalog.
I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, whoa. I thought
you don't even get your next.
Said, okay, that's enough. I think I said we started in the middle of one song, so what was it? Once you went at the end of that song, I was like, oh. So what's up?
You're up at the top with the DJ. You guys are like working out what the song list was and how exactly long it was.
As you were just talking about stealing seats from like a building getting torn down. I have a garden from a brick from the old Boston Garden when they were knocking it down. I went over and snagged one behind the security guard's back.
That is cool. That is all. I am not shocked that you have that.
No, I mean, no one will know it's a garden brick except me. It's not like I'm going to sell it or whatever. It's just like practically grew up in the place. It was funny too because there was a security guard there and there was a Boston cop there, and the cop saw him. He's like, "Don't let him see." We're pointing to the security guard. And like the Boston cop didn't give a shit, but if the fucking Mickey Mouse security guard caught me, he would have snagged.
Oh, so it was I'm sorry, it wasn't one like the ones you buy that's mounted onto a fake.
Of course not.
This was me pulling it out of the fucking pile.
So now you use it as a weapon and as like a reminder of the garden.
home
My
security and
doorstopper.
the Boston Garden brick.
Oh, God, that was brutal. We're just talking to our guy, Whit. Whit, we're going to kick off with you. We're going to start with the Central Division. Obviously, our boy, KY, Keith Yandle. Everybody was talking about this healthy scratch. A lot of bad PR, I think, for the Panthers. All of a sudden, they do a 180. He plays. He scores. Everybody was pretty happy with it. Let's go.
Ta-da!
Was there a bigger guarantee than him scoring once we found out he was playing?
No, I put my house on it.
It was Grinelli had it, Pasha had it, Biz had it, I had it. Who didn't have it? And the kid goes out and scores. And there's a lot to this story. And I think that at one point in time, everything will come out. But what I'll say for right now is that there's a way to go about things. I think when you get hired and go to a new team, whether you're a GM, whether you're a player, coach, it doesn't really matter what your role is. But in my mind, there's kind of a way to go into town and meet people. Now, there's decisions need to be made in hockey, right? And understandably, if there's tough decisions that have to be made, you don't really picture yourself having to do something like that right away. But in this type of season, right, there's a new GM, there's a whole new staff there. The coaching staff remains. Quenneville's there, I should say. But the GM there didn't really do much looking into Keith Yandle. He made up a decision, right, on what he thought of this guy as a player and as a person.
He probably watched the Sandbagger, actually.
Yeah, he probably saw us smoke him on the 23rd hole. But he decided, right, all right, well, this guy's out. This guy's, I don't want him here, which in the end is his decision, okay? So that's 100%. You come in and you take over for a team, you're going to be the one that says, hey, I need to change culture in here. I don't like him. I don't like him. Now, you can ask around and you can ask who you think maybe knows the guy, what he's all about. But until you actually meet him and know him, I would say that it's not fair to make full-blown decisions, right? On a guy personally or professionally, especially somebody like Keith who's been doing it this long. And so you can go about telling a guy that you're not a fan of him or you have plans for him to be out of town or you don't think he's going to fit into the future of the team. And you can do it one way and you could say, hey, looking at this squad, looking at the future of the team, I respect what you've done. I respect who you are as a player. But I'm kind of looking to move you, and you have a no move clause, but it's just not going to work out for you. And I hope to help you get somewhere that you really want to be, that could win a Stanley Cup. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you to actually choose to waive it, but this is kind of where we stand. Or you can go in and just try to kind of bully someone. And when the news broke that he was going to be scratched, I said last week, I said, there's no chance that this is going to happen. And then as the week goes on and he's not practicing with the team and he's like, hey, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, of course I'm biased. He's one of my best friends. And this is an incredible streak. I mean, to think about the fourth most streak games played, you never missed a game. You never missed one day of work. And to start hearing that he was going to be scratched, not because of his play, not because of something that had happened within the team, which teammates only have good things to say about him. It was going to be because you've heard a couple things about a guy and there hasn't been one game played and that was it. So I was so shocked. And then we got up to the getting close to the game. It's like, yeah, NHL.com's reporting Keith Yandle's streak is going to come to an end. If NHL.com is reporting that, I mean, before the season started, it's like, all right, I guess this is happening. I don't know what happened. I don't know who decided to change their mind. I don't know if it was the coaching staff. I don't know if it was the GM who said, all right, well, there's a lot of blowback about this. The right thing happened. And I was so happy to see that. And who knows what the future holds, but to question a guy's character and who he is as a player and not looking at the resume before there's been one game played, it would have been the craziest thing in the world. So in the end, right, there's nothing to worry about. He played a game. He played great. And I saw all his numbers after. Sorry to be so long-winded. No. All the Corsi stuff, I don't know the number. They were all legit. He had a great game. And I just would have expected nothing less. And I'm very happy it didn't go down. But to hear that there was a chance that you were going to scratch a guy who owned the current Ironman streak before the first game of the year, I swear to God, Rick Pitino's hopping into the mix. There wouldn't have been there would have been outrage like you haven't seen, all in agreement of one thing. I do not see the other side of the argument, or even anyone on Twitter. I mean, we had random Sonk Nation going absolutely bananas because there's a chance Keith might get scratched.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it was a storyline, and the right thing ended up going down, which was he played. How about that? Is that fair?
That was such a good summary. And just to piggyback it, you said the right thing happened. I am so happy for him. And not to boot, like he had that type of a game where, guys, this has probably been a massive emotional strain on this guy for like the last 2 weeks. And I guess
that's his.
I think the biggest concern to the final point, it came down to where like, I'm assuming he probably genuinely didn't care about the streak. He cared more about his name and how maybe there was some public perception that maybe he wasn't necessarily a great teammate, or even to like question his play where like, I'm trying to think like, okay, like some people are probably saying he's not as good defensively maybe as some guys, but I'm like going back to last year, he's been an offensive defenseman for like ever. That's literally
in the last 10 years, he has the second most points for defensemen.
Correct. And going back to last year,
don't quote me.
There were no question marks about what his game entailed and whether he was doing it to the best of his ability. In a shortened season, 5 goals, 40 assists for 45 points as an offensive defenseman. I believe he was top 10 in defenseman scoring. So he is still elite at what he is supposed to do. And I bet you based on, if you crunched all those fucking analytic numbers based on offense produced, he would in fact be a $7 million offensive defenseman. Now, I get the concern might be moving forward that there is deterioration, but going off of last year's numbers before one game was played this year, he was top 10 in the world at what he does. So I guess I can leave it at that. I'm so happy for him. And then on top of all of it, it was his 100th NHL goal. So the only way I can actually think about this is like, this was the ultimate fucking like Ocean's 14. They all planned it for the social media lift in Florida. And it was a fucking symphony that was played.
It was all
bravo.
Yep.
So bravo.
To get the team going together.
That's how they said, let's not do where'd you guys go for your team unity bonding?
They didn't ask everyone to clap like Mikey said. It didn't.
No. Where did you go in Pittsburgh for all the emotional team building thing?
We went to West Point.
West Point. They're like, instead of doing West Point, let's just fuck with the media in unison in order to do some team building. And here we go. The Florida Panthers 1-0. Great game by the Panthers.
Hey, the hilarious quote though, the one that cracked me up, I think it was Quenville. He's like, we have 11 defensemen here. We're looking at them. They're all pretty even. I'm like, one guy has never missed a game and has 500 points.
Yeah,
like they're a little different.
This guy you just picked up on waivers a week ago.
Yeah, and at one point was on a taxi squad. Like,
you know what?
I'm a taxi squad guy.
Oh, we're both the biggest taxi squad pigeons going.
What's RA?
What?
I'm driving the taxi.
He's the bus driver of the guys in quarantine.
I'm the driving the taxi biz, looking at you getting fucking some in the rearview mirror.
Yeah. Or getting our Uber clip and giving it to the media.
Yeah. Hey, either of you two, do you know if the Panthers front office is like in the box behind the bench or opposite on the opposite?
I don't know. You're going to say
idea.
The celebration. There was a little bit of a head lift. Listen,
it could have. That's all I'm bringing up. It could have just been a coincidence, but it made me think. Like, is that where the front office is? Like, remember when Clemens was in Toronto and he struck someone up, stared up at the Red Sox owner's box?
It's water under the bridge.
Okay.
I completely know what you're saying, because when I watched the first clip, I'm like, but I think it was like, okay, never mind. Don't look up.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're on that side. That's why I'm asking. I don't want to spread a rumor here, but it came when you watch the GIF from that side. It was in my blog today. It's like, you're like, oh, okay. Was there somebody up there, or was it just, happened to be fucking the way he turned his head? Also, Patino stuck up for him, so we got to send him some Roman swipes. We got to take care of our boy down in Kentucky.
Why is he have? Why is there like a story out there about him that he got?
There is. Google it, my friend, if you want.
About who?
Patino.
He busts a quick nut.
That's why I said we should send him some Roman swipes. Yeah, the story about him and whatever. I don't know if he listens or whoever, but yeah, he had a little infidelity issue. It was in the papers and everything. We're not reporting anything out of turn. You can fucking Google it. It's probably the first thing that comes up. And all the court transcripts or whatever come out. Let's just say he could have used a Roman swipe. I'll leave it at that. I don't know what the time was.
That's a tough rumor.
Yeah,
or if
yeah.
it's not, maybe.
That's the thing. I don't know what it was, but either way, I try to be low key.
No shame, no shame in that, guys.
Hey, we've all been there, man. That's why this stuff exists. You know, don't have any shame in it. Sometimes you're just so flattered by who you're with, you can't help it. All right, moving right along. Actually, one other note too. Chris Driedger got the start over Bobrovsky, which I thought was pretty significant. You're paying a goalie $10 million fucking dollars, and he doesn't get the start in the opening game.
Yeah, there's some definite regrets to that contract looking back.
Yeah,
to pay any goalie that much money is hard, right? And then you got Bobrovsky, who's proven that there's times he's incredible and there's times he's got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know they had to overpay him, but like that was fucking insane.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to see Yan celebrate with the bench, though. That was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving right along. Obviously, Pierre-Luc Dubois. That's been a story in Columbus, and he wants out. Like, there's no secret about it. Tortorella went on the local radio station 97.1 The Fan. Gee, you got that audio for us queued up?
Yeah, he wants out, and he spoke to the team as we do here. He spoke to the team. It's a little bit different than Brett and Bob, where this is a 22-year-old kid. It doesn't happen that often. And, so he has been honest with the group, as honest as I wish he was a little bit more honest as far as reasons why. Still haven't really gotten to that, but I think he needs to speak on that. I won't. To coach him, I can give you a great answer, but it's very difficult for me when a guy doesn't want to be here at such a young age, and the amount of time we've poured into him to try to develop him and is just looking to go. It's hard for me. I'm not sure where it goes with me as the season gets going here. I'll be quite honest with you, because I want to spend my time in developing the people that want to be here, but I still have to coach the hockey team to be the best it can be. Luke has had a good camp. But it's a short leash with me as far as this is concerned. He needs to continue to do the things to help his team win and be as best teammate as he can be, or I'm not sure where it goes. So, it's a situation. It is. It's a situation, and we'll see. We'll go to it day by day.
I mean, it's pretty strong stuff from Torts, which is what Torts does, but he's on the number. I mean, this kid, they spent a lot of time and money and capital in him, and now he wants to piss out of there after 3 years. So, I mean, you can understand Torts' anger or whatever you want to call it. But then on Monday, Pierre-Luc Dubois, he was 7th in time on ice among forwards, 15:03. He got, I think, one shift in the last half of the second period there, Biz?
Yeah,
I think in the last 7 minutes or something.
Last 7 minutes, and he actually got asked about it, and it even got a little bit awkward. If you want to play the audio for that, G.
Did you get a wake up call from Tortorella there at the end of the second? I think he just played one shift in the final 7 minutes. Can you say what that was about?
No, didn't say anything. It's just stuff that happens. Guys are playing well.
Kind of going back to what Tort said, he's probably in the mindset now. He's like, why am I going to be putting a guy who doesn't want to be here in positions where guys need to learn how to win in those situations if he's not going to be here? He wants to probably give those situations to guys that are going to be there down the stretch, right, Whit? Like, is that a pretty fair, accurate assessment by what he said a couple of days ago till his actions in the game?
Yeah, I mean, unless I wasn't watching that game, I saw the goalie scored. I've looked at the goals scored. I wasn't like watching it live. So I don't know if he had a poor game. You could score a goal and not play well, right? Or I don't know if it's one of the things that you're saying. It's like, all right, we're trying to protect this lead. Like, he's not going to be here much longer. He doesn't want to be here. I'll give these guys a go. And that's the thing where a coach can kind of accelerate a trade possibly. And I don't think any GM's going to rush. Actually, I shouldn't say that. There's GMs who've definitely rushed into making trades, but it doesn't seem like the GM in Columbus, I can never say his name right. Kekalainen? Jarmo. He doesn't seem somebody, he goes and gets Seth Jones. He seems to be pretty dialed in, right? He seems to chill, and he's not going to rush to make a decision. But if all of a sudden this guy's like not going to be playing much, or if he's really struggling, it's like at some point we know he doesn't want to be here. Let's get this done. Let's move on. And it's one thing to deal with the Panarin stuff. That's all year. He's going to be there. This guy doesn't want to be there. It's so different. And I think that it would seem to be help both sides if they get a deal done here.
So here's an odd dynamic too, is you're trying to keep his value as high as possible to set your team up for the best trade.
But that's the coach's decision.
Correct.
Torts isn't thinking about that.
Buddy, I'm saying 100%. So that's kind of like the dynamic between GM coach, where Torts this is the last year on Torts' deal, right? He's probably like, no, I've been spending my time and energy with this group of guys. I want to see how far I can bring it. So he's kind of in the mindset of like, oh, fuck you. Now, I'm curious to know, like, does Torts think he ever crossed the line as a coach with Dubois to have made the relationship as toxic as it is? And that's me assuming, like I talked about, whether it was last episode or the one before that, is the understanding is there's been love lost from Dubois towards Torts. Has Torts tried to rectify it? Has he called him in and say, hey, maybe I fucking, gave you a few pee-pee whacks a little too hard and like, I got in your face, but ultimately it was trying to make you a tougher, better player. And if that's your approach in how to do it, it might have not been received well to the player. It's been done to the certain amount of times to where he's like, fuck this, I want out. So I don't know where this is going to land or what he's going to get traded for, but like, these are the scenarios that I'm trying to present as to like what's going on in this situation and why it's so difficult.
And then in the Torts quote where he says, I don't think he's explained the why, or he could do more explaining in terms. Was that what it was in terms of why he wants out?
He hasn't said why he wants to want to be here. He doesn't. Is it me? He hasn't told me that.
Okay, so if he hasn't done that, maybe he's better off telling him that. Like I can't speak for a kid that's going through this, but if the coach is going to publicly say, like, this kid won't tell me why he wants out, be like, dude, I can't stand you. I mean, at this point, what could go worse than it's already going?
You're going to hurt Torts' feelings.
Not that it's going that bad. You know what I'm saying, though.
So are you saying the only other potential scenario is the fact that it's kind of like an Eli Manning situation where he's just going to be the poopy pants, deflate, and like it's make it to where there's so much tension to where eventually like it's going to force the hand and it's going to happen sooner?
I don't know if he seems that he doesn't. No, I'm not saying the kid's like being poopy pants. He seems.
I'm saying, is that another scenario that like the other potential scenario? Am I overthinking? I think he wants to play as well as he can to get the best team interested in him, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? If he plays as well as he can, teams are only going to want him even more. He's going to have even more suitors. That's the thing. There's no like reason that nothing. No, I don't think you're understanding. Going back, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. Is that like if he's unwilling to say what it is, and it's not in fact his dislike for Torts, it must be a scenario of where he just like he just doesn't want to play for the Columbus Blue Jackets, which is like. So you're saying he doesn't. Yes. So he could potentially come out and say, guys, like the actual reason is I just don't want to play here, and maybe he kind of already saying that, or is he not?
I think he is, and he doesn't want to come out and say that because then he's going to have the fans turn against him, and he might still be here for 2 more years because they're not obligated to trade him. So maybe he doesn't want to come out and say, I don't want to play in Columbus. It's not what I like. I don't know. Some guys are grateful to be wherever, and others aren't.
Yeah. All right. Well, because I mean, going back to last pod, I was saying that like I've talked to people, and it seems like there was a little bit of tension between the two, and that could be a big reason. I don't know.
But yeah, it was the 136 second shift in the final 7 of the second. But he did get almost 5 minutes of ice in the third, 6 shifts. He got 1 after a penalty, and like we said, he scored. So,
do you think he's a Blue Jacket February 15th?
They've only played 1 game, right? Yeah. So I can't make a decision right now. Like, let's see how bad it gets. I mean, if he's playing,
fair enough. We'll talk after 5 or 10.
If he's playing 4th line by game 3, I think we know our answer here.
Another quote from Torts, which was after the game Monday, he said to the media, "Slow down, boys. You'll know when I bench someone." So he clearly wasn't benching anyone. And we should know Columbus did bounce back. They got swept by the Preds over the weekend. Pretty funny stuff. I didn't have this on my NHL bingo card for this season. Dylan Larkin versus Zach Werenski, Bobby Ryan versus Oliver Bjorkstrand. Nice little scrap at the end of the game. And then we found out Larkin actually got tickets for the game for the Werenski family and friends, and then they end up going at it during the fucking game. It was not a slobber knocker with those
hockey.
Two, but still pretty funny.
Larkin, classy guy. He actually sent me a bottle of wine when I was in Detroit last to the restaurant he sent me to. So
I remember you told that story.
Shout out for the free move. He knows I love free shit.
He's a captain type material.
That's exactly. That he pretty much guaranteed himself to see when he got me that bottle of wine, because I called Stevie Y. I'm like, this is your fucking man.
Yo, Stevie, let's light up a blunt. I got this unreal idea for Captain.
Yo, let's talk about that Kush. Where were we talking about? Didn't they go to college together?
No, Werenski went to Michigan. Oh, no, they did, I guess. Did Larkin play at Michigan?
They played the program together too. I know that.
Maybe they might have been different ages and might have missed each other, but yeah, they're played before college and at the same college at the same place.
When
that makes a lot of sense.
When G said that, it reminds me of that. Wasn't there a movie called The Program, and the one guy's juicing and he's like hawking in his buddy's mouth before they go out to the field? One
of the best movies ever, The Program. And then the running back, the new star freshman running back, he has a fumbling issue, right? He can't stop fumbling in practice and games. So the coach says, carry this football around, and if anyone else returns it to me, like carry it around with you at all times, 24/7. If anyone returns it, you're dead or whatever, you might be done off the team. So fucking this kid's carrying around like as well hard as he can all the time, everywhere you see him. Finally, one of his teammates, right, sees him kind of snoozing, maybe talking to a girl, looking at a girl in class, sociology. My major, and he's dozing off, and boom, he whacks the ball, and the ball goes flying down the stairs, and literally 30 football players from the same class, like they all would have been in class, are wrestling to try to get it, and out of the bottom of the huddle, Omar Easy comes with the fucking football. He never lost it, and then he ends up being the star later in the season. It's a sick movie.
Yeah, and then the Heisman hopeful, the quarterback going through the struggles, right? He was the Heisman favorite.
He's a drunk. Yeah, Joe Kane, maybe?
That might be the most underrated football movie of all time. I would put Any Given Sunday on my list too.
Those inches.
I have a problem saying it's one of the best ever, but that's another debate for another day.
What?
Yeah, but some
of
your movies stink.
Which one?
Movie liking is the most, what do you call
subjective
thing in the world.
That's a nice word.
It's no greater example than me and you. Where we tend to be in the actually not all the time.
No, some shows and movies we really agree together.
I've been watching this show on what's the word? Fuck now that
television.
No, come on, stop. What happens when you die and then you come back?
Reincarnation.
There's been this show on I think it's on Netflix. My girl showed me one was on that. Another one is about being a median. Do you know what a median is?
Where you're talking to the dead person and then you're talking to the person alive.
They're fucking grifters and hucksters who rip off vulnerable people. That's what they are. I have relatives that go to them and I laugh in their faces and just say, "Fucking put your money in charity."
Okay, that's fair. But the reincarnation one, you wouldn't be able to chirp because the kids were able to point out things on paper that were factual about the person that they came back as.
How many months in advance did they book the appointment? Usually a couple months. You don't think they get researched on that shit?
Okay, so you're telling me that the whole Netflix show is basically like just to suck you in. So they would even lie about a situation like that just to get me hook, line, and sinker?
Well, Netflix isn't lying. The people they're recording and putting on a show are lying, and people can take it for what it's worth. I mean, personally, I think it's a crock of shit. If people believe it, that's their prerogative, and they can. Netflix is in the entertainment business.
Okay.
They don't give a shit.
I'll say this.
So I got sucked in harder than Wit in the lap dances.
No, I'll say this. I didn't get sucked in. I thought I got crushed on. I'm never one to say if it's real or not, but I'll say if it helps somebody, it's like, right. If somebody goes and they're being told these things and it makes them feel so much better, it's like, good for them,
Yeah, I feel you on that, Whit. But like I said, oftentimes it's emotionally vulnerable people who are that's just gonna confirm or reaffirm what they already feel.
I can completely agree on the medium aspect of it, but on the reincarnation, unless of course they're already like predetermining it and they're showing the kid and it's completely fake on the people they're recording, well then okay, sure.
Go to YouTube and watch Long Island Medium Exposed. She's the biggest fucking fraud. Like, she'll be like, oh, yeah, raise your hand. Oh, someone named John. Someone John. Like, oh my God, I have a great uncle John. It's like, yeah, who the fuck doesn't have a relative John?
Mike.
She's a fraud. She's been pretty much proven to be one. But hey, she got her fucking grift on, and she's probably retired by now, laughing at people. Anyways, let's fucking move along.
What if she's just like, song? You know, song?
No, meanwhile, I forgot I had the sweatshirt on. That's like, what's her face? Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost.
I sense a lot of foreskin.
Hey, only
Torts, a ton of foreskin.
Only Torts could make us. Torts could end up making us talk about the medians. Is it median or medium?
Medium.
I have no clue.
Medium, like the size I can't fit in since the last 30 years.
So I got sucked in. All right, Netflix bent me over again, Mr. Gullible Biz.
Yeah, you are the most gullible person.
Gullible guy in the world.
But I do already have my pre-order in for the cologne from Draisaitl. Don't worry about that, Biz.
You fuckers think I ain't coming out with that thing? You guys are nuts. I bet you I could get 5,000 units pre-ordered. Draisaitl. Smell like points.
Smell like a locker room. All right, boys, keep with the Central Division here. It's been a pretty rough start for the old.
We fell off the rails there, eh, boys?
Hold on, I'm getting my fortune told. Hold on a sec. The Blackhawks.
Fuck you.
0-3. I mean, they played Tampa first two games, got outscored 10-3. Then they lose to Florida. They're outscored 15-5 so far. They clearly need a number one goalie. I mean, they're spending less than $2 million on two goalies. They're at the cap. They just extended Colliton 2 years, which I think gave our buddy Chief another stroke. This team, man, I don't know what they're going to do. They're not in no man's land yet. They're kind of in that playoff bubble type thing, but it's been a rough fucking start for them.
They stink.
I think I could make the Hawks right now.
Oh my God. And so the Colliton extension, I'm not going to say it made sense, but now I think his deal, Keith's deal, Taves' deal, and it might be, no, it's not Kane's, but I thought there was somebody else. They all end 2023, right? So you're looking at what's the beginning of a complete rebuild. It could be back to the Blackhawks from when I came into the league. I don't know. I mean, they don't have much there, right?
They sold their souls to win 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, but exactly. So if I'm a fan, I embrace what's going on. Does that sound crazy? Yes, but you know what I do? I say we had the most amazing 10-year run, whatever it was. 3 fucking Stanley Cups, a dream as a fan, a core unit of superstars that I'll have their jerseys hung in my man cave. I'll forever remember the games that it took to win throughout those runs. And now I'm going to go all in on the rebuild. Maybe it's 10 years. I hope it's not that long. I hope we're not a joke and a laughing stock and there's no fans, but I'm going to be there because it's going to make the next time they win, hopefully in 25 years, whenever it is, be that much sweeter. Right. I think to be a fan and all of a sudden you're like, this team sucks, I hate them. It's like, all right, well, this isn't a very legit.
Spoiled fanatic is the word you're looking for. They're a spoiled fan base right now. But I'll say this is coming from a standpoint of an organization to where you've kind of just been like shitty, but not too shitty. It's never going to benefit you in this day and age. You need to get those Patrick Kane picks. Yeah. You need to get those Connor McDavids. You need to get those franchise players. So might as well make it a quick death. The only issue I would have with the fact that it's probably going to be this year if they are a lottery team and they do end up getting first or second, because it looks that bad at this point right now, is you also have a wave of prospects who maybe haven't had the possibility to develop as much as like last year. Like these kids have not been on the ice maybe as much as they should have been playing in game situations. So to evaluate the talent who might maybe coming into this year, there were, 15 options who might be in the top 3 picks to where it usually gets narrowed down by the time the draft happens. It's going to be so difficult to scout. So this might be a year where there might be a big miss, but it should be no surprise to anyone. So that would be the only negative to being that bad this quick. But listen, they still got Taves when he gets back healthy. They got Doc. I understand they got some guys getting paid a lot of money, but I would not count out this team to still be a decent team moving forward when they get 2 fairly significant pieces back.
Chief had a really good blog, guys. I don't know if you saw it. It was kind of like why Blackhawks fans shouldn't be interested in this team. And there was a pretty telling tweet in there from Chief, October 6, 2020. Blackhawks coming up at 17. Let's check in on where all Stan's first-round picks are at the moment. 2017, Yoki Hari, Buffalo. 2014, Schmaltz, Arizona. 2013, Hartman, Wild. 2012, Carolina, Teravainen. Teravainen is in Carolina. 2011, McNeil bust. 2011, Danault is in Montreal. 2010, Hayes in Philly. They haven't had one first-round pick stick besides Doc.
So, right. Who was the soonest pick out of all those picks? Now, keep in mind, we talked about it with Elliot Friedman. When you're dropping out of the top three, it's hard. It's like there's a significant drop off. But now saying that is like you eventually got to hit you got to hit a few of them.
Or not trade them all away. That seems to be the problem is they keep trading them away too early.
How many of these guys are popping off now, would you say? Can you go over the list again? Teravainen's fucking silky.
Teravainen, Danault.
Kevin Hayes chose to not to play there.
Yeah, Kevin Hayes, but Danault, Teravainen.
Getting rid of both those guys was tough. I mean, yeah. I don't know if they weren't fitting in. They weren't playing enough. I don't know if Quenneville didn't like them. But in the end, that's two players you're like, oh, shit.
I think we should also know, too, and I know Chief obviously has his issues with the Blackhawks, but they won 3 fucking titles. They were
that's what we're saying. So, they went through. Exactly.
They were picking in the high 20s, 30s, and yeah, I know. I mean, we don't want to beat up on
every fan who's bitching, every fan who's whining and complaining was at the deadlines of all those years, like, go for it again. We only, we got a window here. Like, go.
Take my wife. Take my wife.
Chickens are going to come home to roost at some point.
Take my kids. Just get the fucking guy out. Get Hossa here, please, for the love of God.
No, it kind of reminds me of Whit. I know you were younger than me, but Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, like the Celtics held on to them for way too long. And, of course, they didn't want to trade them. They were legends who they won titles with. But if they had gotten rid of them, they might not have had a 5 to 10 year of absolutely nothing like what Chicago could be looking at. So, I mean, are they going to hang on to these guys at $10 million each and with the other rest of the roster that's not really cup worthy? I don't know, man. We'll see.
I would listen, if it's going to happen and those guys are okay with it and it's time to move on, to be on social media the day if he packaged them in one deal in a deal together. I mean, you'd have to go on witness protection.
2 for 2.
He could hire me as his personal security guard, but he has to give me a 2-year deal.
All right.
With an option.
Moving right along, we did mention
move clause.
We mentioned the Red Wings a few minutes ago. They split their first series with Carolina, but we want to mention Bobby Ryan. I mean, he signed. They asked him, "Why'd you sign Detroit?" He said, "One reason, Stevie Y." He's got 3 goals already this year. I mean, we talked about his story last year with his bout having to leave the Senators to deal with personal issues. So it's great to see a nice bounce back from Bobby Ryan so far, huh?
I mean, what a reason! Oh, go ahead. Who's your favorite player?
Oh no, I love Bobby. I was rooting for him, and when I saw him sign there, I said, he could actually pop off a little bit because he's going to probably play a lot more than he would maybe on a really good deep team. He's one of the most skilled players in Detroit. I'll tell you, like that guy's hands, I've gone over it, but I think with increased playing time, power play opportunity, he's going to do pretty well. And then maybe at the deadline, somebody picks him up or wants to try to give him a look. We'll see how that goes. I mean, that's looking pretty far ahead quickly by me, but I'm not surprised at all to see this guy score.
No, he's a great start to the year. But when I said he was your best player, I meant by his answer when he said Stevie Yzerman.
Stevie Y was my favorite player growing up. His jersey. I was my
do you think I've ruined every chance we have of getting him on the pod because of the?
I would guess he has no. I would guess he has no clue. Although maybe one of his buddies who listens told him that they think you're a pod.
I don't think
I'll just blame Docker.
Yeah, that's the way.
Hey, sorry, man. I'm sorry. I was
every
listening
man
to
for
Kirby
himself.
Doc. Here's his phone number if you need to call him.
Yeah.
Tampering.
All right, boys. Any other central notes you wanted to jump on before we move along to the, let's see, what's up next? The North Division.
No, I think that's good for the Central.
We haven't mentioned our guests yet. We got a couple of bombers for you today. Nathan MacKinnon, the Nate Dog, rejoined the show again. And Brady Tkachuk, young stud in Ottawa. He came on, did about 20 minutes, half hour with us. Great kid, so we'll be bringing that stuff a little bit later. First, what's the universal male experience? The awful feeling of your ball sticking to your leg? Well, Sax Underwear has the solution. Their patented ballpark pouch is the single greatest contribution to underwear, maybe even mankind. It's basically a built-in hammock that keeps everything in place down south. No sticking or chafing or irritation. And as you get older and gravity starts doing its thing, having Sax Underwear is even more essential. First time I put them on, I noticed a huge difference. You will as well. You got nothing to lose. Sax offers a 30-day comfort guarantee. If you try them and you don't love them, you can return them. No strings attached. It's a no-brainer. And Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so maybe drop a hint or just grab them yourself for the big date. Go to saxx.com. That's Sax with 2 X's. Use the code Chiclets, CHICLETS, for 10% off your first order, plus free shipping. Remember, that's 10% off and free shipping with the code Chiclets. Go to saxx.com. They are comfy, man. They sent me a while back. You say you get older, man, you got to reach down and you need if I can adjust things at this stage of the game. So, all right, the North Division, the Canadian Division, then unreal. We had a ton of overs the first couple nights. But I think the first story we should go to here, Edmonton opens up. Just an absolutely beautiful tribute to Joey Mosswit. They had John Muckler as well. But for those who didn't see it, the anthem singer came out. I don't know his name. And they synced up the video of Joey singing the anthem as well. I mean, I was sitting there with tears rolling down my face watching it. It was just an absolutely beautiful job they did on it. I know you talked about Joey before. Did you happen to catch it?
Yeah, I did. And it was perfect. And, they were able to bring up John Muckler as well and the issues that the Oilers have had just losing 2 legends. So I think that seeing the stuff with Joey and seeing, I actually heard Louis DeBrusk talking about him. They were playing Montreal and I had that broadcast on. He was talking about how you missed, busting his chops. And it's just all the things that have come out about him. And there was a show, was it TSNRA?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But anything you can see to kind of learn about this guy's life and how special it was, I'd highly recommend. But that was a great moment.
Yeah, it was a nice touch for sure. I know it was a tough little stretch here for Edmonton Oilers fans and I guess everyone across Canada as far as Joey's concerned. So tough sledding.
And speaking of McDavid, he had a tough first game, pointless, but then
what?
McDavid, right when he said his name, I just said, Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean, a natural reaction.
Didn't have a Connor McDavid-like game the first night, but against Vancouver, beat him 5-3. Edmonton, second game, absolute electric hat-trick. Score. Pat did Connor McDavid go when he does that thing with just a burst of speed coming down the wing and just shoots it when you don't expect him to.
Well, again, he just stops on a dime, and it's like poor Edler. Edler had 0 gap, which doesn't even matter against him. You get a perfect gap, he's going to go around you. But Edler is just seeing this freight train that can also stop on a dime and stick handle coming at him. And he's just and ends up facing the complete wrong direction as McDavid just rips this tight turn and goes shelf all in one motion. Nice little, it was like a triple pump, boom, 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 as he's on one leg flying towards the glass to celebrate. It never ceases to amaze me. I don't know if it was a tweet or I was online. He has not kidding you, 40 of those already. 40 videos of goals that he's flying as fast as you've ever seen anyone on the ice, and he's burning guys and he's stopping and he's cutting back. It's this was a never-ending clip. I was like, how long has this guy played in the league? So the highlight goals that he's able to produce, you're looking at what might be, I've said it before, the greatest hockey player of all time. I know he is not that yet, and there's a ways to go, but he does things that I've never seen done.
He does this thing where when he's flying too, and there is a D-man there and he knows he's got him, he almost kind of stops, but he's still going. And then if the defenseman reacts by going one way,
he cuts back the other way.
He'll actually cut it. and then if they don't, he just keeps going. So it's they're fucked either way. So yeah, he's a human cheat code. And I think that, if you're playing defense against him, you might as well just have a fucking net.
Okay, what year is it for him? What year is it for him?
Hey, you should put those things that they put when the cops are trying to pop the guy's tires. You just get to slide it out on him if you get a one.
Or the things you try to catch, like a million shrimp in the ocean or a million fish, those big-ass nets?
No.
Fuck.
I don't know. I don't know what they're called.
I might have just butchered that.
I kind of was putting that in the net.
But what year did he come into the league? How many years is this?
2015, 2016.
Okay, so this is his 5th year, bro?
6th.
This is his sixth math
year?
guy.
Good math. Well, it always messes me up when you say 2015, 2016. You guys know where I was coming from. If you asked an Oilers fan, once you were getting him and you knew he was going to be this, it's you think he'll have a Stanley Cup 5 years into his career? I think a lot of them would have said yes. I know that sounds crazy, but a player like that, they turn it around quick. And granted, it took Ovechkin forever, but still, some fans would have thought it. They're nowhere near it still.
They were winning President's trophies.
Montreal kicked the shit out of them. It was. I don't know. It might have finished 5-1 or 4-1. Granted, it's 3 games and they're 1-2, but I don't know, man. It's like this guy's in his 6th year. All of a sudden, it'll be 7, 8, 9. It's like, where are the Oilers at? They need to figure it out quick.
Trade me right fucking now.
They need to figure it out when you have these 2 guys at their prime dominating every shift.
That's what I wrote in the notes. I mean, a 5-1 spanking in Montreal the other night. They don't have. I don't think they have a bona fide number 1 goalie. When you have 2 talents like that, Draisaitl and McDavid, you need a fucking number 1 goalie if you're going to compete.
Yeah, I wouldn't give. You're right. Not bona fide. And then Smith's out. He's out long term, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It's not easy to just go out and grab a number 1 goalie, but until they have one, man, I think they're going to have issues like this. So, all right, moving right along. How about those Toronto Maple Leafs? First place out of the gate. They lost the first. They won the first game in Montreal. Then they split with Ottawa, 2-1 right now. That 0-3 OT thriller versus the Habs to open the season. That was like a playoff game to start the season. Unreal action up and down. Got a nice scrap. Wayne Simmons and Ben Sherratt. And I'll tell you, man, people who don't like fighting, they can't make an argument about it that night. Simmons was fucking yelled to the bench. All of a sudden, they came back, ended up winning the game. Good stuff. Biz, I know you want to talk about the scrap there as a former scrappy yourself.
Yeah. Sorry, just canceling my Miss Cleo subscription here.
Fucking scary.
Grinelli probably doesn't even know what that is. Were you around for Miss Cleo?
I have no idea what Miss Cleo is.
Did you guys used to see those infomercials?
Absolutely. She was another con artist huckster Grinelli pretending to sell.
I thought you'd like that one, RA. I was waiting to bust it out, but you hadn't thrown it to me in a while. But let's
going through his notes for jokes to tell in the future.
So fuck you. Let's start with the Montreal game in Toronto. That was an unbelievable game. I think that was on Wednesday, the first night they opened the season up. Love the Simmons fight, establishing right away he knows exactly what his role is. It was a spirited scrap. Who was the guy he fought? Ben
Sherratt.
Ben Sherratt. All game he was barking. That's a great little rivalry. And I think out of the gate, game 1, Montreal looks good.
I fucked up.
They look good. Josh Anderson.
They're fast. They're fast. And that's kind of their plan, is to come at you every line. Sherratt was the one who hammered Matthews late, and he broke his stick over him. So you're right. He was getting in the mix quite a bit.
Yep.
Montreal, I hate that call by me. But I'm not backing down. I hate it, but I'm not backing down. When they lose 2 in a row, you'll see me on Twitter. But man, the Leafs are exciting. I watched Calgary late. They're good. Paul Maurice he's like, I wish we could keep this forever. He's like, it's our own little league. It's sick. I know we said leading up how cool this was going to be, but something about all these teams every night playing each other. I am so into that division. And Toronto, right? They waived Spezza and they waived Arundel. People were flipping out. I kind of understand, because Spezza's great on faceoffs, and only Leafs fans say, we can't lose our faceoff guy. But I think Spezza went there. He's like, I'm going to play for the Leafs, and then I'm done. And the report came out that if he were to be claimed by somebody, he was retiring. Such a power move.
What a vet move right there.
Absolute,
yeah. I ain't coming.
Spezza's agent reports, if he's claimed, he will retire. Do not put my name on a piece of paper and say claim. Anyone in the league, he was saying. I love
what
that.
A report, agent. Yeah, if you claim him, he ain't coming. Okay?
Yeah. Check, it's like, oh, man, you won't get your $700K. Yeah, he's got about $60 million, I think.
Yeah.
But then Dell was claimed, and that is a little rattling, and I was kind of confused as to what went on there. But you see already how much teams are trying to use the taxi squad. And it's going to come in such a big part of play throughout this year. And goaltending is like what we always talk about, right? Anderson goes down. It's like you need to be safe there. And I think Leafs fans were pissed. And you knew once Dell went on waivers, somebody was grabbing him. Sure enough, Jersey does, with the retirement of Corey Crawford coming a few weeks back.
Were you done?
Sort of. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say Jack Campbell, great backup. He ended up getting that win against Ottawa in game 3, I believe. So now they're 2-1, but overall they look great. I know that there's a couple of Joe Thornton stats that ended up coming up. He scores But the time that he'd scored his first goal against Ottawa, what was the stat?
None of the first line was even born yet.
None of Ottawa's first line or their own.
They weren't even born.
It was Ottawa's first line. Yeah, he scored his first goal versus the Sens in 1998.
So Norris, Tkachuk,
the first line
for
Ottawa hadn't been born yet.
There was another crazy one too. Joe Thornton, 1,638 career games. The Senators' top two lines combined, 1,213.
Oh, and then last
a lot.
Last one is Joe Thornton's the only active player to score a goal at Maple Leaf Gardens and their new building. I know it was the ACC. What is it? Scotiabank now?
Scotiabank now.
Yeah, Scotiabank. So there's a lot of funny old guy stats out there for Joe Thornton. It was great to see him. That fucking pass that Marner made was silky. He bats it down by putting his stick on the ice. It's what's crazy to me is it's still rolling and he automatically puts it exactly where to head up, boom, head up, where he takes a picture of the ice, boom, nothing there, right back to Joe. And I think he basically had the exact same type of drop pass on that Matthews one-timer. So this team looks absolutely lethal, although they did fall to the pesky Sens, and we'll get into them. We want to get into them now?
Yeah, actually, a couple quick notes on Toronto, too. Going back to Spezza, in the event he was claimed by another team, he could just refuse to report. Then they would just terminate his contract, and he'd be free to sign back with Toronto. So, yeah, getting that message out there.
You could swindle that?
That's I believe it was our pal Chris Johnson. I believe he's the one who wrote that. Yeah, in the event he was claimed by another team and refused to report, he'd likely see his contract terminated. That would allow him to sign another deal with Toronto. But I think, like he said, if you're going to put that retirement threat out there, teams are just going to stay away.
That's just a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
Hey, they're doing it. They're like to spite each other. The fucking intern at the league office, like, fuck this shit.
They're making them fax it just to be pricks.
Yeah. One other note, too, on the Simmons fight. Did you see him give Sherratt the thumbs up from hit the penalty box? Like, in other words, thanks for giving me the fight.
Yeah.
It was nice, the cool little gesture, like, hey, thanks. Because, guys don't have to fight anymore. So.
I don't know if he's saying thanks as opposed to just like good
nice fight. But either way, it was pretty cool. And
I think he was saying thanks, R.A.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Fuck you, Whit.
Romanov looked fantastic in that game, too. Did you guys see that pass he made to Tatar?
Nice. He's nice. He's silky. He's got all the qualities you want in a defenseman in today's game. He looks exactly like you, Grinnell. He went to the bench and was breathing heavy. It's bizarre.
It's more than Quinn Hughes.
He's apparently on the no trade list. RA's on the no fly list. We got this guy on the no trade list because the rumor swirling was that, is it Yarmo or Jarmo?
I've always heard Jarmo Kekalainen or
Yarmo. Okay, we'll go with Yarmo. Apparently he was asking about him, but Bergevin said, I think they're asking for Suzuki too. And as a Montreal Canadiens fan,
fuck that.
Yeah. I don't think that's the play. I think the ceiling's a little bit higher as far as what the Suzuki kid can do. And I mean,
over Dubois.
It's hard because
I wouldn't say that. So sure. Wow.
Okay, sure. It would probably be up to Montreal fans who get to watch it. I think the high end skill is more of like a little bit of a teaser for them.
That toe drag he had when the guy bit it into the boards in Edmonton was nice little viral clip.
He put him in a Calgary. He put him into the Saddle Dome with that.
He put him in a Whitney in Columbus when the 2x4 was dropped down.
Oh my good. That's got to be one of those do. When the kid they spin him into oblivion. You know what I'm talking about? The GIF.
Aaron Dell was claimed by the Devils, by the way, just to finish up that note. And yeah, the pesky Sens, man, they come out with a hell of a first game. I gave out on the gamble corner. We'll get to that later, but I gave out a -1.5 puck line plus 410. They came through with the 5-3 win. They look great out there. They lost the second game 3-2, but they playing like I thought they would. I know everyone laughed at me, but they got a great blend there. I thought Murray was pretty good his first two games. This is a fun team to watch, man. I'm going to be fucking following them and betting the shit out of them all year, Biz.
Murray's on his redemption tour. Yeah, he did. He looked good. I like the young energy. We do have an Ottawa Senator coming on later. He's going to explain the whole Jimmy Stu. So we got that whole backstory. And
Jimmy Stu is nice, actually. I like that.
Yeah. And they added a shirt,
Cornelli.
Jimmy Stu?
Jimmy Stu. Sounds like a rock star. Or does it not? Fuck.
Yeah. No, but you got to put the umlauts on the above the U.
Yeah. What are those German dots called?
Umlauts.
Umlauts?
Yeah.
I always wondered that. And how do you say the U differently when you see the umlauts?
I think you just put a like Stutzu, like you had a little German, like little Gunther from The Simpsons.
You just go.
How do you pronounce it? Umlauts?
That's called an umlaut. Umlaut. I'd rather listen to Charles Manson than fucking Hanson.
Remember that song? That song, I remember actually physically doing a fist pump in 8th grade when I was being driven home from Noble and Greeno School when that song came on the radio.
Jam.
I loved that jam. That was the year we won Quebec.
I remember my older cousin used to insult me for listening to that tune, and like looking back, fuck you, bro. That is a jam. You know when they try to make you feel insecure for listening to like a pop tune, like Justin Bieber.
I mean, it could work on me too. You tell me the music stinks I'm listening to, I'll shut it off and never listen to it again. But Bop is a different story.
We got to open up the pod with that. That's why you're hearing it.
No, that's the thing. People won't listen to the rest.
Oh yeah.
What was like, oh, I want to get my hair cut like him, but it's like his Bob was like, yeah, wait, you probably don't want to do that.
No, I remember. A barber told me once. I said, like, I don't know, it's like hair coming down. Hockey is like, your hair doesn't come down, bud. Your hair stays up there. It's an afro.
Yeah,
I've long remembered that I couldn't have hair that looked cool and came actually down.
Hey, so when I had my long hair, I had my sister straighten it one time to where.
Oh, you got the picture?
You must look like a fucking pimp or something with your hair.
I look like that one pic of Snoop Dogg when he's got it down.
The one guy who like does a wicked pimp walk coming into the building like that fucking gift.
100%. Yeah, I get the NBA draft suit on.
Oh fuck, man. Yeah, Jimmy Stu got his first tuck in his second game. But Brady Tkachuk, who we're going to be bringing on shortly, he had a goal, 2 assists in his first game. And what does he not look like his old man out there? The number 7, the ass parked in front of the fucking top of the crease. He looks just like Keith, man.
They're both. I think when he scored that tip-in goal, like Ferraro was. He's like, it's the father, it's the brother, it's Brady. They just score right around the blue paint. They take beatings. They'll give the beatings out. They're just pains in the ass to play against. It's exactly what you'd want in a hockey player. They're the type of players who actually, besides maybe taking a stupid penalty, besides that, their on-ice play, they're the type of players the coaches are never mad at. You know what I mean, Biz? There's nothing to like. They're
like, Walt will take care of it via text after the game if it maybe wasn't up to par. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But you could just like the way they play is so easy to like root for. I know that sounds crazy because people despise them, but having played the game, it's easy for me to root for them.
Rarely will you ever see them have a night off because they'll find a way to make themselves relevant in that game. His guys, he how old is he? He's under 21, or he's 20?
He's 21.
He just turned. Okay, so he's 21 now.
So his
maturity level speaks for itself. I think we should throw it over to that interview right now.
All right. Another thing too, it is like the genetic mannerisms, how they chomp in the mouthpiece the exact same fucking way, dude. It's fucking hilarious. But
yeah.
All right, boys. Before we do send it over to him, we got a little golf talk, a little tailor-made action.
Said we're gonna have Biz read this ad. Let's see how this goes, guys. We're all in it together.
All right. Is it in the Chiclets group chat?
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh my god, I'm gonna take my glasses off.
I want to follow it.
Hockey guys or golf guys, especially us. And we are pumped to be sponsored by TaylorMade this year. TaylorMade has announced the new Sim family of products.
Big time, Biz.
The Sim 2 drivers, fairways, rescues, and 3 new sets of irons are here. The new Sim 2 and Sim 2 Max drivers were reconstructed to make more forgiving while giving you more pop. These guys just look like rocket ships when they are in your hands. Truly like having a cheat code. The Sim 2 fairways and rescues are designed to help you take it low. TaylorMade brought it to its iconic V-steel design, so you will all say, I can't hit my 3-wood. Very excited. You know who you are.
Biz.
But what good are the new driver or fairway without a great ball to go with it?
Listen, the ball's money. The ball's, all you got to say, Biz, is the ball is the best ball in the game. All right. So you got to check out this sim technology. When it says cheat code, I went and hit this driver. This thing comes off like a rocket ship and you can miss, Biz. You don't have to hit the center of the club face. You occasionally hit the toe. I occasionally hit the heel. It's still going.
I'm listening.
All right. So listen, and the tour response ball is for those people who have always wondered what those high-priced tour balls are, and you're afraid to pull the trigger. These are for you. And you can even get them branded with the Chiclets logo at the Barstool store. So you want to get your tailor-made drivers, fairway woods, rescue clubs, and balls immediately. The irons as well. Do it now. Now we're going to send it over to our good friend.
Could they teach you how to read?
Brady, who knows how to read, I think. Tkachuk.
Well, it's great to welcome this young man back to the show. A second-generation NHLer. He's already going into his third season with the Ottawa Senators, and he was recently named one of the 3 assistant captains as he tries to get the Sens back into the playoffs. Thanks so much for coming on, Brady Tkachuk. How you doing, pal?
Doing great, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Our pleasure. How's camp going so far?
It's been good. Just chomping at the bit now. 10 months. Got out there. Felt like I barely knew how to play hockey, especially after quarantine. So, you know what? Just excited to get going and battle of Ontario right away. And just here we go.
Must be the longest stretch without a game you've ever had, eh?
Yeah. I mean, that I could think of back to the youth hockey days. I know those breaks were long, but no, this is crazy. I mean, I was at home watching the bubble with Matthew before the bubble, with Matthew after the bubble. Just felt like it was never ending. So finally here, it's nuts, and it's a little nerve-wracking because it's been so long. But no, just super excited.
You and Matthew are probably like, "Oh my God, get me away from this guy!" At some point, just the battles are going to begin early for you two this year.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I don't think anybody had as much fun as we did. I know it was a lot of time together, and. We try to make, life as fun as we could. And no, I'm definitely excited to see him again. And now we're talking a lot, but no, there's going to be some good ones this year. It's the year to do it. It's play each other 9 times, play everybody 9 times. It's going to be nuts.
I think the talk of going into the season was the Northern Division. And did you end up watching the first couple games here? I know Toronto and Montreal played, so you must be amped up for all this Canadian coverage.
Glued to the TV. I think that's not only me, but I think everybody up here is just going to be glued to this North Division. And the rivalries that are going to take place, it's going to be awesome. It's just, we're only doing this for 1 year, but we might as well do this, every year because it's going to be so nuts this year.
Yeah, I just read, we're talking, the day after NHL opening night, Sportsnet released it was their most watched ever opening night for NHL. I think it's close to 7 million people. And I think you're dead on about how exciting it's going to be. Now, for you personally, you're still so young and like growing into your body. Do you feel actually a lot stronger, a lot different in some ways going into this year as opposed to other years?
Yeah, well, the 10 months is all I could really do is, work out, skate, and then just on the weekends have fun. So I definitely feel way more confident myself. Definitely feel way stronger. And like I said, that's all we've been doing for 10 months is working out. So. It's time to get going, time to hit some guys, and time to get some wins for the pesky Sens.
A lot of us got our first peek at one of your new teammates, Tim Stutzel, during the World Juniors. We understand he's going to be living with you this season. Is that correct?
Yeah, we got him. We got Josh Norris here too. So the 3 of us, it's a madhouse right now. It's playing Xbox, watching TV. Joking around all the time. So great guys. We're having a blast so far. And it's watching Tim at the World Juniors. He's an unbelievable player, but off the ice, he's an absolute beauty. So that's
you out of tape his twig yet, or what?
Oh, dude, so what'd you guys call it? The balls tape job or something like that?
We don't need to. We don't get in trouble.
That's too funny. No, we were already on. We call him Jimmy already, so that's kind of
why is his nickname Jimmy? Let's go. Let's get into this.
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out a way to kind of stick it to him, day one, because of course had so much hype. Whenever he introduces himself, hey, like my name's Tim. You just act like we didn't mess up his name on purpose. So Jimmy's been stuck. So the coaches have started calling him James and Jimmy and Jim. So it's kind of going from there, but. No, it's been good so far. He loves it.
Hey, this is one of those things where he's talking to his parents in German. They're like, why is everyone calling you Jimmy? He's like, I really have no idea.
Yeah, no clue. No clue. Never really got explained to me.
I'm now Jimmy for this next 15 years I'm playing over here.
Oh, that's amazing, though.
I had a question because it's such an exciting offseason for Ottawa, really, and how many guys have been brought in and the changes being made there. Josh Norris, I'd say, was a key part of that deal with Erik Karlsson coming over from San Jose. He's a first-round pick. For people who don't know, kind of explain his game. He played 2 years at Michigan and then really lit up the AHL his first year pro. What are you expecting? Because he's centering the top line with you on his wing right now.
Yeah, well, I've known Josh for a while. We played together at the U.S. program. We're line mates there. So he's been one of my best friends for a while. And, for him, he's as fast and as strong as I've ever seen, somebody. He flies up and down the ice. Great shot. And he's a very smart player, too. So I think he, deserves all the accolades he's gotten so far. And now I'm excited to get to play with him again after all these years. And I think everybody should be really excited for, not only him, but all the new guys. And, all these guys have been unbelievable guys. And, the team's right from day one has gelled. And I think it's going to be an exciting year for our team. And a lot of people have us pegged and where they have us pegged. But I think we're going to surprise a lot of people this year because, the way we play and even our own scrimmages against one another, it's been physical, fast, and that's exactly how we're going to play.
RA's got you guys winning the cup. He put a futures bet on it.
I did see that.
And then he had to explain it to the world after because he was getting ridiculed. I was like, Brady's going to take this personal.
Yeah, like I said, we might be surprising a lot of people here. So you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think you guys are probably one of the busiest teams in the offseason, had a ton of turnover. Does it almost feel like a new team in some regards in the room this year?
Yeah, I think some of us were kind of joking that some of the guys that played, last year, we might be introducing ourselves to everybody else because we feel like we're the new guys. So, you know what? I've been fortunate to play with some awesome players, awesome people the last couple of years. And from the new guys this year, they've been awesome. Some of the older guys have already taught us so much and great leaders, and just being able to learn off each individual it's been awesome. And I think everybody's just chomping at the bit to get going tomorrow.
I was going to say, what is the optimism within the team like?
It's honestly, I've never been a part of a more confident group amongst ourselves. We've had guys the last couple of years win Stanley Cups and have that experience, and being able to kind of help us young guys and kind of get that winning mentality back. And that's what we expect out of ourselves this year is win games, win those close games. And I think our sights are on playoffs. And I think there's no doubt amongst our team that we can get there. And especially with, like I said, with the experience, the older guys, the young guys chomping at the bit, and just everybody's on the same page. I think it's been awesome to be a part of. And especially this year, 4 playoff spots out of 7 teams. It's the way we play. I think we're very confident in our group.
It seems to be happening more often where you see such young players become leaders and assistant captains and captains in the league. But for you, 21 years old, you're an assistant captain that was named recently, maybe last week. How excited were you to get that news? And who told you? Was it the coach or the GM? How did that all go down?
Yeah, it's, they kind of, both the GM Pierre and DJ brought, Thomas Branson and I into, the office just to let us know. And I was just really honored. I think a lot of the guys in that room deserve it. And I don't think it's going to be, 3 or 4 guys. I think it's going to be the whole team leading in their own way, whether it's a guy who's been in the league for 10 plus years or a guy that's first year, second year. We're all going to bring something different to the table. We all want to hold each other accountable and just it's a group effort. It's going to be, everybody lean on one another. So that's what I think it's going to be so exciting about our group is that this is going to be probably the closest group that I've been a part of so far. And our expectations are so high already. So I think that's what's going to make this year so exciting.
You got the A at 21. Your dad had the C at the same age. What kind of leadership advice has he given you, and what 80s movies did he quote while he did it?
Yeah. Oh, man. This whole 10 months has just been a movie quote. It's this or that. So, no, for him, it's just, he's always preached 2 things: is compete and be a good teammate. And I think if you just do that, it's if you get everybody on board with that, that's just makes a successful team. So, no, he's, 10 months, he's always given, little things, whether it's, it doesn't matter where we are. He's kind of drops, his wisdom once in a while. So, and just having Matthew there, he's a leader on his team. And so to learn from him, and, he's had those extra years of experience. So I'm very fortunate to have people around me that can really help me in that aspect. And I've definitely leaned on them heavily and learned so much from them.
Grinelli told me that you guys are big into the COD. Is that the same thing as the gulag that Kevin Hayes and stuff was talking about?
Clue.
I have no clue either. How many of these younger bucks on the team are playing this, and are you guys just going at it all night against each other?
We're trying to get Jimmy involved with Warzone. He hasn't had it downloaded yet. So Josh and I have been playing. We played all quarantine. We played with Rat Rank. He was living here during quarantine. So we've been playing a lot of that. But Jimmy and I have been playing NHL and just one-on-one against each other. So different things we're doing to keep busy.
I know that Ontario's lockdown, or I've heard that. So in terms of you three guys, I'm guessing nobody's cooking. You have somebody coming over doing that, or how's that going? What are you guys eating at night? Can't go to dinner, right?
Yeah, well, my girlfriend's been here for a bit, so she's been cooking. Josh is actually a pretty good cook, but Jimmy and I just sit on the couch, watch TV, and just we expect it to be a good meal. So the pressure's on Josh and my girlfriend, so it's fun. It's good.
You're like, Josh, you get me the puck tonight, and tomorrow morning, eggs, 3 of them, over easy, toast, well done.
He's going to be omelet guy before he knows
it.
Got to get the Venus Schnitzel going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's too good.
Who would you most compare Jimmy's game to for guys who haven't seen him play yet?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, the way he skates, his hands are unbelievable, his elusiveness. I mean, I got to go with, Patrick Kane, and he's that skilled. I mean, we do power play in practice, and I haven't seen a guy miss his pass yet. He just absolutely, whatever play he wants to make, he makes it, and it looks just so easy. And I'm so excited to watch him play tomorrow, and I'll be a part of his first NHL game because I think he's going to have plenty of games in this league.
More tucks like Matthews. Are we calling it? Pre-game or what? No pressure, Jimmy.
Yeah, no pressure at all, Jimmy. But a big game.
Pre-game meal from Norris is good.
Yeah, on his 19th birthday too. So might be a good story there.
What was your reaction? Well, you and Matthew, when you guys realized you're going to be going head to head 9 times in a season? I mean, sometimes you guys don't see each other twice in a season. Now 9 times.
Yeah, we're talking about as they're speculating that over the off season, and we were just kind of laughing like, no way this could be true. But once it came about, it was, I mean, just like you said, usually see each other twice a year, and now seeing each other 9 times in the next 5 months, it's gonna be nuts. We're trying to get like we were joking around, play try to figure out what our stretching routine is so we can just shoot at the red line and warm up. So no, it's just we joke around with some things like that. But no, I mean, it's just going to be a blast. I think it's going to be great for our family and friends watching. And I mean, I know a lot of people in St. Louis will be watching, and it's just going to be so much fun to play him that many times, battle with him that many times. And it's going to be, it's the whole division. It's going to be, like I've been saying, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun to be a part of.
DJ Smith, he coached in Oshawa, won a Memorial Cup there, I believe. Obviously used to coaching young guys. What's his message to this group? I know he seems to be a bit of a player's coach. Yeah, well, I mean, we just got to play, all together, especially this year. It's 56 games. Anything can happen. And we just got to be tough to play against, Looking at our team, I don't think there's a tougher team than us. It's the way we play. We're going to be, in your face, physical, fast, make plays, make quick plays, and just be at the net all the time. So, no, it's going to be a fun team to be a part of. And no, we're not going to back down from anybody. There's especially a lot of skill guys, a lot of high-end guys in our division. So the way we play that's the best chance of success is just playing fast and physical.
It's nearly impossible to get consistent wins without goaltending. And all of a sudden you have a 2-time Stanley Cup champ coming over in Matt Murray. And what have you seen kind of in camp and leading up? Does he seem ready to go? Looks sharp, or it's just got to be tough for him moving on from Pittsburgh, I would guess. But he's probably really excited to have that full-blown starting job back. Yeah,
well, I don't think I've scored on him in practice and training camp whole time. He's like you get a shot on, and then the drill goes. You're still battling with him. Like you're still trying to score the rebound. There'll be like 6 chances, and then he won't be ready for the next shooter because he just wants to make sure he saves every puck. He looks unbelievable. I've been fortunate to play, great goalies and goalies that have been around the league for a while. But he's unbelievable, and It's so much fun. He's just a great guy too. He brings so much experience, and I think the 2 Stanley Cup, his experience with that, it's already helped us out tremendously. Was able to skate with him before training camp, and I think he looks unbelievable. And of course, didn't watch as closely in the last couple of years with him, but I'm just so lucky to have him on our team, and I think he looks unbelievable.
I just placed a futures bet like RA now. You've been pumping this whole squad up. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
I might have to get a Senators jersey.
Oh, the new one's nice too.
I'll jump off the Leafs bandwagon.
Are those the OG ones? Did they go back?
Yeah, they went back to the OG ones.
Yeah, those are nice
too. Oh, they're nice. They're Saturday nights against Battle of Ontario. Those are gonna be good ones coming out in black.
Brady, when you look at the schedule, do you already know there's going to be guys on other teams that you're going to be absolutely sick of by like St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, well, watching that Montreal-Toronto game last night, it's those are 2 teams that we hate and they hate us. So I can see a lot of battles coming about those games, but playing teams 9 times, you can see battles that you never think would happen, and I think that's what's going to be great is that. East to West Coast, there's going to be battles, rivalries across the whole Canada. The goal is to be the best Canadian team this year. So a lot on the line, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fun to watch. I bet the hockey fights guys, that Twitter account's going to have a good time this year. It's going to be a lot of content probably for everybody.
We might have to get an over-under prop on you for fighting mages this season.
Oh, no, we'll see about that.
You seem to you're not planning it. You just get so pissed off it ends up happening. So depends on how the year goes.
You got a short wick, as Walsh would say on her podcast. You got a short wick.
Well, hey, Brady, thanks so much for coming on. It's great to catch up with you. 3rd NHL season, just about to start. It's kind of crazy. I remember chatting with you right before your rookie year. So thank you so much and good luck this year. It'll be a fun team to watch. And Jimmy's going to be the rookie to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy for Calder. Jimmy and Josh for Calder.
Already on it.
Love it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Huge thanks to our buddy Brady Tkachuk. Such a great kid, man. Easy to root for. Comes from good stock. So, Brady, keep doing what you're doing, kid. We love watching you. Biz, I would have paid $1 million to hear you say histamine dihydrochloride, but
probably the proudest I've ever been of you right there. When you busted that out.
Yeah, even though I butchered a fucking second grade word before that.
I felt like my kid hitting his first ground ball or something, a T-ball or some shit.
Dude, my parents didn't even go to my Little League games.
He must have not used the Rome and it came out.
You got a fucking Playboy subscription at 10 years old, so it all evened out in the wash.
It definitely all evened out, yeah.
Still. I was using
and he got a pocket pussy for confirmation.
I was stroking off to the Sears catalogs. RA's got the fucking sex swing in his room at 13.
Yeah, I was working at the movies and more when I was 16. I was basically the porn purveyor of all my friends in Chucktown.
15th birthday. Shit. It's like, what's this? It's a punch card of the rub and tug down the street.
My uncle would be like, you got 20 movies out. Where the fuck are they? I'm like, can't find them. So my friends would take them and fucking never give them back.
Yeah, you're like Christmas Vacation VHS, taped over fucking Baby Blue 2. That's a Canadian reference. They used to basically put softcore porn on television in Canada late night.
Really?
100%. Everybody.
And then when Yolanda Bissonnette caught her son cranking it for the 14th time, the government decided to change it.
I'll describe the perfect Friday night when I was a kid, when I couldn't go out, and I was all I could do was basically drink Coca-Cola when my parents were at a dinner party.
This is 14, 15?
No, younger. Probably around 12, maybe. Okay. Yeah, maybe 11. But is when they would stay out past 12 and Baby Blue 2 would come on and I would just crank my meat in the living room. It was the fucking greatest.
What is this? Who's in? I gotta look at this movie.
I actually think Kiss is.
All right, had you heard of this movie?
No, it's not a movie. It's a
Canadian.
It's a Canadian show where they would put softcore porn movies on,
Silk Stockings type thing.
And I think that Kiss is the girl that Kiss married.
Oh wow. Girl. Gene Simmons' wife. Oh,
Gene Simmons' wife.
What's her fucking name?
Dude,
Shannon Tweed? Shannon Tweed?
Maybe. I don't know. She had the best.
I remember her. She used to be in that stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, softcore porn.
Yep.
I used to crank
Shannon Tweed. Yeah. Wow, she's fucking 63. Wait, Biz, how do you describe softcore porn? What? Like what's?
You ain't seeing a push.
No
here.
penny, no penetration.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's the whole rule with no penetration. Tons of nudity, dude. You'll see everything, but you just don't see actual penetration.
Yeah, you won't see their lips.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see
You ain't
that
seeing
either.
lips. You ain't seeing dicks.
You see,
ain't
well, that's
seeing lips
because
and
back
dicks.
then it was all bush. You couldn't see labia back then because it was
Hey.
covered with pubic hair.
Hey, 100%, and it kind of got me
Dude,
going.
hey, millennials killed crabs. We can say that. Like they killed crabs off in the last 20 years.
Why?
Way to make me throw up.
You can't.
Thanks, RA.
Was that
Halfway
the-
through the
you know they
podcast,
blame
I just
millennials for
puked on my
killing everything
computer.
off. Like millennials killed this, millennials
How'd
killed
the
that.
podcast go, honey? It was great till I threw up on my
already
desk.
talked about his crabs.
No, I was talking about millennials killing off yet another thing, but at least it was good in this case.
Can you get them in your butthole hairs?
I have no idea. All right, moving right along. The East Conference, East Division. I'm sorry, there are no conferences this year. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. I mean, doesn't get much better than that for modern day rivalries. Pittsburgh gets swept. They lost 6-3 in the opener, then 5-2. A very chippy opener, which we had on the Roman Swipes electric chair, boys. Let's get into that game, you guys. A little physicality.
I'll get into that division quick, Biz, if I could hop in, not to interrupt you.
I was going to go Mark Madden and say they got a goalie controversy. Marino's overpaid. Trade Sid and Gino. No, just kidding. You know, when Mark Madden
Gino
goes,
hasn't had the best start. Pittsburgh had to win the other day. They ended up coming back and beating Washington in a shootout. But I really, really look at Washington and think, how did I not pick them to make the playoffs? What a gigantic fuck up by me. They look rested. They look a little different. They look ready to go. And Backstrom, if he's going to play like the way he started off, like look out. If that guy's going to light it up this year. Verana's somebody, I think every year in the league, he's had more goals, more points. So like Verana, he's got 2 goals through 3 games. I think I really screwed up. Not going to change my decision. I love the Penguins, but there are some issues there. And goaltending's one thing. I will give Philly credit, though. I mean, everyone was all over my pick of Philly possibly winning the Stanley Cup. I think I brought this up. Philly looks pretty nasty to me. No,
unreal.
I don't know what the hell. What does everyone dislike about the Flyers as a team?
The only thing that sucks right now is Couturier, I believe, is getting like an MRI in his shoulder. They can't lose him. But down the middle, they look fucking so strong.
Konechny's sick. That guy is just like water bug of energy and a little ball of hate as well. I've actually always compared him a little bit to Marchand. Maybe not as skilled, but still sick player. So Pittsburgh went up against a really good Philly team and kind of got crushed. They were 3-3 going into the third the first night. I don't remember the final. What was the final score of the second game?
5-2.
5-2. So Crosby's goal, I didn't think it got enough coverage. I'm not going to say coverage. I guess I saw it a lot on Twitter, but him knocking the puck out of midair the first night and then just blind batting it behind him. It was like, what? That just happened? So that was one of the best goals of the first week of the season. What else about that division?
Well, I mean, Hazy and Malkin were getting chippy with each other. There was a lot of chippiness throughout that game.
Yes, it was.
Gritty ended up chucking his hat on the ice for the Konechny.
Yeah, Gritty's a junkie.
What I think we got to talk about Jakey Voracek. We got to get him on the show, man. He was an absolute fucking blast.
Okay,
We
had him. We sat down with him.
No, I said back. I thought I said back on the show.
We were in Philly.
I said. I want to hear that take because I'm pretty sure I said get him back on again.
He was with fucking Gritty that night. No. That's why I could remember that scumbag.
Anyways, he got asked a question from Philadelphia Inquirer reporter Mike Sealski. I think that's how you say it. And this guy's been shitting on Jake for years. Just, a lot of every city, especially in the Northeast, has guys they get a hard on for certain guys. And Cornelli, why don't you play the audio because it's a lot better than I'll do.
This for Jake. 2 games in, Jake, how different does the season feel, if at all, given the circumstances of the offseason and the condensed schedule and everything?
Doesn't matter what I say, Mike. You're going to write fucking shit every time. So it doesn't matter what you say. Yeah, it feels different. I mean, we got 4 points after the first 2 games. I wasn't even going to answer your question because you are such a weasel. It's not even funny. Next question.
I mean, that's awesome. I fucking love it because what I like too.
Weasel.
the Hockey Night in Canada folks, they did a discussion about it, and they didn't circle the wagons for, oh, you don't talk to media like that. That's what Boston would do. They always protect each other. They were like, no, man, if a guy's being a dick to you, like BX has said, you might pop off to him if he's being unfair to you. And then he made a quote and then the next day, the guy's in front of you with his microphone and his bad breath asking you questions again. It was fucking hilarious. But then this Sam Carchidi, who I think he works for the Inquirer as well, said he tweeted that the league has had a, quote, discussion with Voracek for his expletive-filled tirade. That's when we're talking about media circling the wagons. Like, it wasn't an expletive-filled tirade. He said fucking shit and told the guy he didn't want to answer his question. So anyways, he got a discussion with the league per Bill Daly. He wouldn't comment on whether a fine was assessed or not. So I'm sure they'll probably give him a slap on the wrist. But fuck it, he was sticking up for himself. The guy's been a dick to him for years. He told him to go fuck himself. I got no issue with it. Should happen more.
I thought it was even funnier the fact that he actually went on to answer the question.
Yeah. I think he answered it. No, didn't he answer it? And then he did he answer it before or after the little tirade?
After he's like, why? What are you doing anyway? You stupid. Yeah, it was, and then he answered it, and I think it was
such a fucking weasel.
Was it Konechny? Was it Konechny who was beside him, and he was like,
instant gif.
He's also trying to like hold it in. He's trying not to laugh.
He had a mouthful of water too. I thought we were getting a spit take.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, spicy.
I mean, you come at Voracek. What's the saying? You best not miss. Twitter, Zoom press conferences, in your face. He doesn't give a shit.
So we were on the live stream during the game, and I mentioned how big of a savage he was on Twitter. So this ends up happening afterwards. So he is just like putting fuel on the fire. But guys, I think these are a tale as old as time, and I think everybody enjoys a good riff between a media member and a player. We saw Reinhart go through it last year. I mean, Brooksy and Boyle. Brooksy's been into it with like 10 people, but I love him, and I don't know exactly what this guy wrote about him to get him spicy, but that guy ended up going back after him on Twitter, and then Voracek was like, he's like, oh, you could have acknowledged it when I was in the room with it. And then Voracek's like, yeah, I would have if you would have looked at me in the fucking eyes. So that it got even spicier afterwards. So yeah. Voracek does not fuck around.
Also, we got to talk about the Islanders Rangers. And opening night, the Islanders put a beat down on the Rangers, enough where Quinn made some, lineup decisions for the next game in which Tony DeAngelo was scratched. Surprising after he makes some big coin, and I think that he's probably a little bit high risk. I didn't see all of that game. I didn't see any huge mistakes. Maybe I missed
other
some.
Than getting walked by Barzal.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to bench a guy because of that, one of the most skilled players in the league, put it under your triangle and snipe bar down. Yeah. I'm guessing there had to be more to his play than just that to get scratched.
Well, I just figured I'd point out the obvious.
Yeah, no, 100%. But the Islanders, they rattle me when they win because the way they play. I got so many, is this boring tweets as they're just lighting them up in the first period, 3 goals. But the next game, the Rangers came back and shit kicked you right in the face. So Islanders Bruins right now has been a pretty entertaining game, even though it's 0-0. I know that doesn't make sense. This division is tough. Oh, I felt bad because Buffalo, right? They lost 2. They're 0-2. They need to get their first win. They're going this evening. So I think that this division is so like even throughout with so many different clubs that there's never going to be a team that's running away with it, right? So the whole time I'm just kind of getting ready to see this slodge of just changing one spot here or there. Every point matters so much. That's kind of what you've seen from the beginning.
We also got to talk about the Islanders losing their fucking goalie in warm-ups. Cal Clutterbuck let one fly. He catches Varlamov like under the mask, above the shoulder, probably in the neck. It hurt him enough that he couldn't play, and they brought in Sorokin, his first NHL game, thrown into the fire. And, yeah, he didn't look too prepared for it. Obviously, they fucking lost the game, but what's his face? Barry Trotz wasn't too happy about it. Obviously, he said we put Sorokin in a tough circumstance. We did it to ourselves, injury and value in the warm-up. To me, it's almost unacceptable. It's like running your quarterback over in warm-ups. Players have to recognize that your goalie is almost your most important player. Guys aren't thinking. It wasn't fair to Ilya. It wasn't fair to Valley. The way the guys warmed them up, it started in warm-up, and it just sort of carried over throughout the game. You guys, I mean, I never shot one, but you're told not to fucking aim for the head and keep him fucking soft.
Oh, yeah. The guy. If you hit the goalie's head in warm up, you feel like the biggest clown.
When I saw it go down right away, I was like, oh, there's no worse feeling. It was Clutterbuck, right?
Yep.
No worse feeling because, yeah, you're definitely at fault, but also the puck can get away from you a little bit. I mean, it's like there's no chance he meant to do it, right? I wouldn't think.
If you're a depth guy and you do it, you feel like an even bigger asshole. Holy, you're not getting it back.
Yeah. You're like, great, I got to throw 5 hits instead of 3 tonight to try to do something.
And put
extra.
2 in the net, and you got to make sure it's a win or you're the GOAT.
Biz, I know you always bring up Josh Ho-Sang's name. He's going to play the rest of the season. What is it pronounced? Orebro in the Swedish league? Orebro?
Yeah, I think it is Orebro. That was the team I played my first game against, -2, and then the next game was the game I retired.
But Petey was there.
Cool little arena, actually.
He's going to be playing there. He's going to be on loan from the Islanders, so he's not going to be with them this year, it looks like. And I had a question for you guys. I'll go to you first, Whit. D'Angelo, obviously, he has all the Twitter stuff going on, and we don't need to get into that. But do guys have loudly arguable politics in the room? Have you ever seen that, like, during your careers? Guys just, not in any particular issue. Have
I'm not. No. When was politics, like, a thing before, like, 2016? Nobody. I mean, I don't know. I guess people talked about it. I never have.
Yeah,
I've never been on a team where anyone did. Now it's so different
world now.
Been in a room.
Okay, I was just curious.
I wasn't even paying attention to it when I was.
I have no clue.
I mean, towards the end a little bit, but I still don't know anything about it.
All right, moving right along the division. The Bruins and Devils opened up facing each other. Bruins won the opener 3-2 in a shootout. Then they lost 2-1 in OT. The guy we got to talk about, Mackenzie Blackwood. This guy's bona fide, legit number one on a team that's not that good. Let's see. He had
You've been fumble fucking your words ever since you chirped me about my reading.
Shutout.
He had a shootout loss. Because SO, I write SO, but sometimes it's shootout, sometimes it's shout out. Shootout, and shutout. I'm trying to say shutout. I am. I'm having a fucking rough go with those words. Anyways, 2 games, a 1.39 goals against, 9.54 save percentage. He was the reason basically Jersey was in both games. And also Igor Sharangovich got his first NHL goal, the overtime game winner. This kid's got fucking speed to burn. I wasn't familiar with the kid before the 2 games. Now I very much am. So, and he gave that awesome interview after the game. Yeah. Gee, do you want to play that? Want to play that interview?
What was the moment like when they all swarmed you on the ice in celebration for the first victory? What did they say to you?
Boys?
Yeah.
I don't know. They just happy and hugging me. I just see nothing around me and just all guys just happy.
We are all happy. We're so happy for you. Congratulations. Thank you for doing this interview with us. And I'm sorry that we can't do it face-to-face, but go enjoy this win, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Give him the lady thing.
That is true. That is genuine. Just, what's the word?
Purity.
Purity? I love it.
Like just pure, something pure about it. Happiness. Yeah. He was just so happy and giddy, and obviously English isn't his first language. It was just like you want to grab him and give him a little hug when you're watching it, you know?
Give him the lady bang.
Make him give a 5-minute speech.
Did you catch any of the Devils Bruins games? Either of you two peckerheads?
No, I was too busy watching the Yotes. Ow!
Yotes
we'll
came
get to
back.
them later.
Yeah, Yotes came back in a big way. I saw a little bit of those games. You know who's nice is this Ty Smith, this defenseman on Jersey. This kid moves around, sweetie. A first-round pick a few years back, but I like him a lot. He's kind of running their power play. Subban, I think, played 30 minutes that first game. Yep. So you see if he can kind of bounce back. The Bruins, they look pretty solid. I was kind of down on them with what happened there in the offseason, or kind of what didn't happen in terms of not bringing much in. But they're going to get Pastrnak back. It's 0-0 right now against the Islanders. They're on the power play with 18:30 to go in the third period. Now, how about this stat for you? If the Bruins win this game, it'll be 10 consecutive road games versus the Islanders, which has only happened 7 times in history. No, it'd be 11. Only 7 times in history has a team won 11 in a row against an opponent on the road. So they're looking to make some magic happen in the Coliseum. I'd love to see him beat these scumbag Islanders. So sorry to get away from the Devils Bruins. What else did I notice in that game? The Bruins are going to need I know, is it Kasha?
Yeah, Andre Kasha.
Okay, so he's injured, right?
Yes, he is.
You look at like who's getting opportunities, right? What's Bjork going to do this year? I don't know. Can he kind of pop off offensively? Biz, I love the word pop off. Like, you know what you're getting from your depth guys, and you know what you're getting like from most of the defensemen. Now the questions are at the bottom of the defensive lineup, and then at the top of the top two lines offensively, who's going to step up? Who's Krejci going to have as a winger who's going to be able to get 20, 25 goals? That's the question. Because right now they're 0-0. They're not scoring easily. They're the only team in the league without a 5-on-5 goal so far. Think about that, Biz.
I didn't like when they didn't sign Achari. That's what I didn't like. He was the one who went to Florida, right? Either. Yeah, I didn't like that move. I would agree with you, Whit. There's a few younger guys. Kasha came over from Anaheim. I played against him a little bit in the minors. He's a very skilled water bug out there making plays. So yeah, they gotta have a few of these guys pop off at some point if they want to make that next leap. And that's my word. So thank you for using it.
All right, a couple of the notes. Pittsburgh did bounce back after they took a couple beatings from Philly there. They won the shootout over Washington on Sunday. And Washington, they previously swept Buffalo. First game was a 6-4 win. Then the Caps held on for a 2-1 win in the second game. I thought the Sabres played pretty hard. I mean, they come out, they gave a good effort, but they're playing a tough team there. Buffalo is one of two teams that doesn't have a point yet. Chicago's the other one. I'm excluding Dallas, who hasn't played a game yet. So I don't know if I like I said, Buffalo, dude, I think they'll get a W at some point, man. They played good, but did you catch any of them? Either of you two?
No.
Any of the Washington Buffalo stuff? Yeah, it's tough when, like I was saying, Biz, they should stagger the start times now where there's no crowds.
I don't get this.
I think because it's just probably tradition. Everyone has this same start time, but
nowadays, but no fans, man. Yeah. You got to start changing when these games. There should be games all day, every day. If there isn't a day without a game for 120 days, let's just have the game start at like 1:00 Eastern every day.
Yeah, I agree with staggering them, especially when like a lot of the people probably consuming them are at home, because then you could just align it up to your team start time and work around it, because it's not like everyone's punching in 9 to 5s right now. So maybe at least in Canada, so you got to stagger the time. If they haven't been doing that, then they got to start doing it. But like, hey, I'm the last guy to bitch about like a little thing as far as scheduling it. The fact that they got this thing up and running, I'm grateful for.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. So you guys got anything else from the East, or you want to move along to the West?
I got nothing.
All right.
I got nothing.
All right, going to the West, and I think the top story there for us was a no-brainer. Minnesota, a team we've picked on over the years for not having a lot of personality. Well, Kirill Kaprizov, this guy, they've been waiting for him for years. They drafted him like 5 or 6 years ago. He finally come over from Russia. Just an unreal first impression, a goal and 2 assists in his first game, including a overtime game winner on a breakaway. He also assisted on the overtime game winner in the second game. This kid, I know it's 2 games and, he's still young, but man, he actually makes Minnesota wild. You want to turn those games on now. And that's not something we've said since probably Marian Gaborik.
Yeah, he's a game changer. And, he could have been playing in this league probably 2-3 years ago. But to score 30 back-to-back years in the KHL, there's a skill level there that probably no other Wild players really possess. And I think being a first-round pick and having to wait this long, like imagine how grateful this kid is. Imagine how much fun he's having. And he's not even experiencing what he should be with how crazy the atmosphere would be in all these games. But he looks awesome. He looks like the people were saying he meant to do that on the game winner, though, off his foot. There's zero chance.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
I mean, he got lucky, but still, like the way he's able to kind of control the play. And also, he's faster than I thought. I watched these games and I didn't know much about him, right? I don't remember if I ever played against him. I don't think I did in the KHL, but fuck, is he good. He's going to change them a little bit, enough where I do believe that this team they're going to surprise some people. I mean, Billy Guerin just being there is the type of guy who either immediate changes. You saw it last year with certain trades, and I'm sure training camp felt different for the guys who had been there. So shout out to the Wild. They deserve a good team.
Did you see that? Hey, they should have had a loss. You see the meme?
Oh, the Sonk. What a play off the post.
I know. Wow. LA, they had players on the ice with their hands in the air, and then it hits the post. They go back the other way, and Ryan Suter, who set a milestone with that point, all right?
Yeah, but Suter got his 500th career assist when he assisted on Dumba's tying goal with under a second left, and that was an all-time Sonk. The Kings putting their arms up, and I'll tell you, man, if I had the Kings on the reverse puck line, like those are the ones that like take fucking years off your lives. I mean, it hits the post right on target, and then of course they tie the game and boom, goes the other way. So either way, great stuff in Minnesota. A couple of overtime thrillers out in the coast, and then they're heading down to Anaheim to play them.
Vegas is a wagon.
There you go. I was just getting to that. Anaheim had a tough start, got swept by Vegas. Vegas spanked them 5-2 the first game, and then pretty much the same thing happened in that game too. Anaheim was up. What was it? They goalie got pulled. Vegas ties it and then wins it with 7 seconds in OT. Mark Stone over to Pacioretty. Did you see that clip? It was a great job by Buchagras. He heard the audio. You can actually hear Stone yelling to Pacioretty as he makes the pass, like, oh, boy, and then, like, the woohoo. It's on our Twitter feed.
Where is that?
It's on our Twitter feed, man. Booch,
okay.
Go to Booch's Twitter. You could find it probably easier there. But he picked up the audio of, like, them two basically yelling back and forth. But, yeah, man, Vegas, they're an absolute wagon. Going to be tough to beat. And I love they wore all gold uniforms the other night, the gold jerseys. And Marc-Andre Fleury had all gold pads on, and they had a picture with him on their Twitter feed next to C-3PO, who wore it better. That was pretty funny. Come on, dude.
He's from Star Wars.
Don't act like you don't know who fucking C-3PO is.
No, I didn't even understand what you said. Whit. Fuck you two, you fucking sensitive bitches. I didn't know what your fucking analogy was.
No, I wasn't an analogy. It was the team Twitter feed put out a picture of
I'm just poking the bear,
and it was like the old "who wore it better" thing. I thought it was pretty fucking funny. Now,
I saw the coaches have the jumpsuits in practice the exact same color as the jerseys. They look like they're going to Studio 54 straight from practice.
Yeah, they do. Whit, I'm going to ask you about this one. So they've started out the season, Vegas, with this 5D system. Now, I like that way more than 7D. But
the defense love hearing that. That's
yes. If they could snap it around evenly to 5 guys, and there's no liability there, where one guy doesn't have to lug 35 minutes, kind of like they're doing in San Jose right now with Bernsey and Carlson playing legit 33 minutes each. I think it's a nice way to start the season, and you don't burn out the forwards who are doing so much more skating. So, yeah, it's obviously working for them off the hop. And as Gary Lawless, who I'm going to call after this and kind of get the breakdown of why the whole 5D and 13 forwards thing is going. He says Petro is a beast right now. He said he looked unbelievable in camp, and he is. I think he might be playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder too. I don't think he liked the way things ending and in St. Louis. I'm looking forward to the games where they play each other. Can they even play each other? Yeah, they could play each other. They're in division, right?
Oh yeah, Vegas and St. Louis. Okay. Yeah, they're both in the West.
Brain clicked out.
Vegas is nasty. St. Louis took it on the chin in that second game. Talk about a pissed off Avalanche team, huh? Oh. I don't mean to jump away from Vegas already, because you guys pretty much said it all. I mean, they're just a really good team. They're deep. They have it all. The 5D thing, I will quickly say, is a dream for defensemen. Crazy to hear with how many games are going to be played in a short amount of times. I'm sure that'll change throughout the season. But, oh, my God, when defensemen are told you're going to dress 7, everyone's like, fuck. Because the 7th guy ends up playing like 4 minutes or whatever it is. And then that takes away a couple shifts from, say, the 4, 5, and 6 guys, which just kills the momentum enough to just, I'm already kind of waiting if there's a power play and my shift isn't called and the top line's out there. Now I'm waiting again because one of my shifts is going to the 7th guy. Nobody likes it. So 5 guys get to hear that they're going to run as a unit. That's pretty much a dream for defensemen. Sorry.
No, I liked it. I like the insight from the defenseman.
All right, Biz, now we're going to talk about your boys, the old Arizona Coyotes. They started off with a 2-game set with the San Jose Sharks, which they split. How did they look to you, buddy? I know Kessler got 3 tucks already.
Yotes looked great, boys. They looked very good. San Jose's first line came to play, Hurdle, Kane, and this kid out of UMass. I don't know if you guys had heard of this kid, John Leonard. He looked great. He had 2 apples, set up the goal that Evander Kane ended up scoring on the breakaway, which put them up 3-1. Coyotes stormed back. Phil Kessel's off to a fucking hot start. 3 tucks, a couple in close to the net. Had a nice tip in off an Oliver Ekman-Larsson point shot, but things are clicking. Garland looks really good. This Pitlick kid who they ended up signing him to a 2-year deal with. I don't know if you know anything about him either.
I know him. I was with him in Edmonton briefly.
Okay, there you go. Keller and Derek Brassard, who came over 2 weeks before the season started, they have instant chemistry, and they have been a ball of joy to watch. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who I said is going to win the Norris this year, 3 apples, 3 primary assists in the second game against San Jose when they ended up spanking them. But
did he get hurt?
He did get hurt. Him and Evander Kane collided. Kane kind of got his stick up, and right now it's being reported, I believe, as a lower body injury. But Coyotes have one of the best 1-2 punches in the league as far as goaltending. And now they got a 1-2-3 punch with Aiden Hill as their third guy. So they're goaltending secure. Team's playing great. Tocchet has the boys bringing tons of energy. And I think right now they're in second place in the whole conference. Are they not? Let me take a look.
Our boy Bill Armstrong, he's gonna be all over that team, right? In terms of like, hey, if I can make a trade to improve, if I can make a trade for the future, teams might be calling, looking for a goalie. He's got a premium there. I'm excited for your boys, Biz, and I love that they're giving out that headwear that you got going right now to the player of the game. Did you see that clip?
The Coyotes pelt. One of the fans gave it to me. They I don't know if they pick up roadkill and just dish them out. I don't know exactly where they got it from,
Still
but
alive,
it look. Ow.
Squirrel.
Things look good. If your team is bringing effort and they're making games interesting, and you're seeing young prospects who the team's paid continuing to get better and better and better. As I mentioned, Clayton Keller, he looked really, really good and determined in those first 2 games, and that was coming off he threw a drop pass in the first game in the first period. They ended up going down. Jarmelson had to take a penalty, and I think he got a bit of a pee-pee whack after the first, but stormed back in that game in the last 2 periods and lit it up, goal and an apple, and had another good game on the second game against San Jose. I think San Jose, and we can kind of shift over to them, I think they're really going to struggle this year. I think right now, they got Carlson and Burns playing 33 minutes a night. Other than that Ferraro kid, they don't Vlasic, excuse me. He's kind of like the next tier down, but Ferrero's the other guy. So they're top 4. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the team can be successful with 2 guys on the back end playing 30 minutes every single night unless they get in some type of crazy rhythm. And as far as firepower up front, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up, guys.
Yeah, not to mention the goaltending situation. What's his face? Martin Jones doesn't look like
my
solid number 1.
Like last year, 2 years ago, that was a good one.
He actually looked pretty decent in that first game, but I was surprised they didn't go back game 2 with Dubnyk just to kind of get the guys the reps and see if they can catch a guy on a wave. But I would imagine that Dubnyk starts next game. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he is. And going back to the D, Biz, they spend $19.5 million on Burns and Carlson. Burns' contract is through 2025, and I believe Carlson's is through 2027. I mean, if they're in the fucking doldrums of the league, you got to imagine.
I mean, hey, listen, I guess if you're paying them that much, you might as well play them that much. And it's just like, hey, spit rhymes, Coyote Biz.
No, it makes a lot of sense when you say it that way.
Print the shirts, Grinelli.
It's not going to last. I know what you mean.
You got to think one of those guys, and Grinelli just texted to give him credit that they're going to put up one of these guys in the expansion draft. We also have that coming up. And if you can have someone just take a fucking $10 million salary off your hands, they're probably going to do that. And also, the team, who, if Seattle opts to do that, if that happens, they're going to get themselves a nice defenseman, and they got to have to meet the salary cap floor anyways. So I don't think they'll mind taking on a $9 or $10 million deal.
Okay.
Easy for me to say. It ain't my
Grinelli's been buzzing this pod. He's going to take my spot.
Ooh. The espresso, boys. I'm back on the espresso.
Is that what they're calling it?
We went to dinner.
Cocaine on Manhattan now.
Grinelli and I went to Nobu for dinner, and he got an espresso martini. I think you might have gassed like 3 of them, actually. You were buzzing after.
Dude, big on the espresso martini.
I missed shoveling food in my face for you guys because it's always a treat. All the crazy sushi and shit you order. I definitely missed the meals.
All those hypocrites going like, oh, espresso martini. What are you, girl? Butt chugging Pink Whitney right now. It's fucking.
Yeah, that's like when you drink wine, people look at you. I'm like, dude, fucking Italians have been drinking this for 6,000 years. Am I a pussy because I drink fucking smushed grapes?
Who looks at you funny when you're drinking wine?
People over the years have, especially when I first started.
Well, it's probably
maybe at the VFW in Charlestown, all right.
He's got the Virginia Slim cigarettes with his legs crossed. That's why.
All right, Colorado, St. Louis. I know you mentioned a second ago. The Blues beat them 4-1 in the opener. Colorado was pretty lifeless. Didn't get a lot of fucking action going. But the second game, boy, they took a second to get going. They spanked St. Louis 8-0. 5 power play goals. Chase Bennington. They were the Colorado Avalanche. Everybody's who's been pumping their tires. That's what we got. just an unreal performance. And by the way, I jumped on the Blues tonight, Monday. I don't know if you did, Biz.
You always jump on a team after they get
always, no matter how bad they are. I mean, when you get hung 8 goals, your goalie gets pulled. You're a Stanley Cup contender, especially easiest bet in the world tonight. The Blues in regulation only.
Hey, and sometimes you need that. And going back to game 1, I felt like St. Louis kind of put them in a headlock. And you knew they were going to come out guns a-blazing. It's like the Jordan meme. They took it personal. Nate MacKinnon took it personal.
Oh, that is kind of getting fucking played out like every other meme, I would say.
Him flying through the neutral zone, though. Him flying through the neutral zone was a joke. Yeah. And Makar, that team is sick. So you knew they'd be pissed off with their performance, but to come back like that, it's like St. Louis's, oh boy. I love that you're hopping on them, all right. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, especially a number 1 goalie gets pulled, that's one rule, but 8-0. I mean, they were embarrassed. They got absolutely embarrassed. They're playing San Jose tonight, minus 115 regulation only. No brainer. I loaded up my first, at least 1 large unit. I'll leave it at that. People should know what my large unit is.
Well, I was going to say, how much would you pay to hear the audio from the coach's room from Chief after that spanking?
You think he even flipped
might
out?
Even give him the silent treatment.
No, he's just like, hey, boys, it's one of those. Let's be ready next game.
Forget it and move on. Biz, I'm guessing you felt at home when Pierre-Edouard Bellemare gave his press conference, and he also thought that the games were being played on Lake Tahoe, and he found out at the presser they weren't, and he was crestfallen. So that must have made you feel good that you weren't the only guy who thought they were playing above Fredo Corleone.
Biz, we've been over this. You said it first.
Play the audio, G.
Mikey, does he want to do that?
I mean, Biz said it first.
Thank you, Biz. Wake the fuck up. We're on planet Earth here.
Always
it was
like
you.
It's always like Whit, pointing the finger. Pizza up the middle, pointing the finger.
I'm not going to say that I didn't also think that. I tweeted it out, actually, and said, Pierre, don't worry. It happens to the best of us. I'm more saying for you to say, hey, Whit, after you said it first, that's more Biz blaming someone else.
Well,
Suck on that one.
Sounds like I sucked you in like the stripper.
This is song 7. This girl loves me.
You're looking at ring sizes.
Dude, I definitely
signing over your fucking next bonus check
on my fucking 7th fuzzy navel at fucking Super
Miss Cleo.
Telling fucking Frenchie I love her. In that game, Nathan MacKinnon, a goal, 2 assists. He's outstanding once again. We're going to get to him in about 2 minutes, but first. Most guys have tried different ways to last longer, but thinking about puck lines and over-unders doesn't always work. Well, the folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman Swipes, the secret to longer-lasting sex. Roman Swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast-acting, and the best part, they don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, and each Swipes packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. You just take the swipes out of the packet, swipe it on, let it dry, and you're good to go. That's it. So go to getroman.com/chiclets. You get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's getroman.com/chiclets. And now, Nathan MacKinnon. Well, it's only been a year and a half since we last had this guy on, though it feels much longer. Since we last had him on, he's won a Lady Bing. He was named a year-end All-Star. Sorry, it's an award.
Lady Bing, I forgot I won that.
Finished second in the Hart Trophy voting, and he had a fantastic season that made him must-watch TV during the playoff bubble. It's a pleasure to welcome back to the Spittin Chiclets podcast, the Nate Dog, Nathan MacKinnon. How are we doing, brother?
Good, thank you, man. I'm good. I'm doing good. Just getting ready for the season here.
I'm bummed out. Thanks for joining us here, but I'm bummed out we're not going to have you guys in Boston this year. It's been becoming an annual tradition, me going over the Garden to see the Avalanche, so I'm going to be bummed out you guys aren't coming through.
I know, man. I wish we could have came up to Boston as well to do the second round of the sandbag.
Oh, you want a rematch?
Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised they gave.
We might as well just get going with that. I'd love a rematch.
We've been trucking people this summer.
I saw that.
I was surprised they gave you the Lady Bing after how you reacted to me on that front 9. I thought that was pretty rude of you when you called me. You're the one who started all this.
I know. I came up with the name technically.
What do you want? Rights now? For the discount contract
I saw that got like 1 million views. I wouldn't mind like a little piece of that.
Yeah, he's like most underpaid player in the league. I need something from you, mutts.
No, man, it'd be fun to come up to Boston though this summer and do the second match here.
Okay, 5-1. Let's chalk it down
100%.
already.
Well, we got more between then, Biz. We're not going to glance right over, though. The last time you did see RA, I believe, was you were in the garden and walking by some workers who yelled out, "Hey, RA," and didn't notice you. Is that true?
That. Hey, this guy's a legend, man. I can't go anywhere with RA. Everyone's all over him. What a guy. Yeah, it was funny, man. We were just RA. It was nice. Stopped after, said what's up after we played the Bruins, and yeah, we're just walking out, and not that I'd expect anyone to know me, but this guy might as well have been Justin Bieber. These people are going nuts for RA. He's a legend.
He's like, "Oh, thanks for coming down, RA." He's like, "Actually, can you give me a couple slices of pizza?" That's why I was coming down. I know usually you guys don't finish it, and there's usually I don't want to get thrown in the garbage here.
I thought with Sid, a lot of times I got to like take the picture. You know, people would be like,
hold
"Hey,
the jacket." You got to hold the jacket.
Yeah, like I thought I was gonna have to take a picture with these people with RA, so I'm glad that didn't happen at least. So didn't have to get that shame.
I heard there was a time that you were taking a picture of somebody of them and Sid, and they were even like, "Hey, Nate, make noises at the baby, make the baby laugh." So you were taking the picture, and also one like, "Ooh, look over here."
That probably happened. Yeah, that probably happened.
What did you and Sid do all fall in Halifax with the crazy schedule?
One-on-one drills.
Yeah, just bagging me the whole time. No, yeah, we were skating, then we got locked down. We went into like a red zone back home, so we couldn't skate for a bit, but we got a few in before we left for our cities. But yeah, it was crazy, man. It was tough to get into a routine. I think that's for everybody, though. It's just the rinks got shut down with everything else, so I don't know really why, but kind of the way it worked out. But feel good now for sure.
Going back to the last time you played, the bubble experience, we've talked to a bunch of different guys and how kind of crazy that was. But for you, it was tough for your team too. I mean, you were amazing personally, but so many injuries. And you look back at that Dallas series, it was like 6 or 7 guys are out. It must have been frustrating to see the success they went on to have to even get to the final.
Yeah, man, it was. Both of our goalies got hurt. Landy, Calvi, Donskoy, a lot of guys went down. We got down 3-1. Honestly, I feel like that came down to our special teams. Our power play wasn't great, and our PK wasn't amazing either. And 5-on-5, I thought we played really well against Dallas, but they were a tough team to play against. They came at us hard. They're a big, heavy team. I would have loved to see us with a full lineup. And there's injuries with every team in the playoffs, but you'd think in the bubble it'd be no travel, lots of rest and recovery. There wouldn't be like that, but
both
it's just
goalies,
unfortunate for sure.
That's a joke.
That's a tough one, man.
What are you gonna do when both goalies go
Nate,
down?
You mentioned the power play struggled a bit against Dallas. Do you think maybe you used up too many of those power play goals in the series before that? Maybe when you guys were running up the score.
We gave all of our looks against Arizona. We gave it away.
Back to back 8-1 thumpings. That was kind of like the start of how you guys started rolling. I think you finished your in-house gym though, and you talked last time about Sid kept dragging you over to his place. Does Sid come over to your place now to train now that you got it all dialed in?
No, still hasn't come over to train yet at my gym.
I didn't go over to his.
I didn't go over to his gym though this year, so I got that. I'm putting my foot down here. I'm gonna stand up for myself against the kid. He hasn't trained at my gym this off season. So
spends 500. Spends 500 on a gym. Never goes in at one time.
But what he did do on my property, the psychopath. I have like a boat launch. It's like 70 yards, like very steep, and he would run like he'd come over and do like he would sprint up the boat launch like 12 times. And run back down it. It was crazy. I tried it. I almost died. This guy's a savage. So that's what he would do. He wouldn't use the gym, but he would use the property. So we'll take it. Close enough to the gym. He's getting there. He's getting closer.
Nate, talking about the injuries, is it worse to have a year end like that, like in a flurry of injuries, or to go to like OT of a game 7 and lose?
Both. I mean, it was hard. Even when Gruby got hurt, Frankie came in. He was really banged up too. He just could never get healthy. He had a really bad hip. He was lights out all season, and he came in hurt and he couldn't play after game 5 or 6. And Hutchie actually played really well. we won. Actually, Frankie got hurt. We were down 3-1. He couldn't play. Then Hutchie won game 5 and 6. And man, it stings. I mean, we even got the lead with like 2 minutes left or 1.5 minutes left against Dallas. And we couldn't hold on. They won an OT. We're up 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. We just couldn't put them away. They're a resilient team, well coached by Rick, and it's just unfortunate.
How long of an adjustment was it playing without fans? Did you adapt right away? Did other guys struggle with that?
It wasn't too bad, honestly. Obviously, it's a lot more fun. The only time you notice it is when you score. It's just dead silent. That's really the only time when you're in it. A lot of adrenaline's going. I'm glad we get to travel this year and go to other rinks, not just in a bubble. That would have been tough again. But, hopefully, the vaccine gets rolling out and we get fans by playoffs. That'd be great.
So you get the full season with Cale Makar, and it's like to do what he did in the playoffs when he left UMass Amherst was one thing, but to come back and just dominate the way he did. You kind of called it to us earlier, but no surprise throughout watching him play the season?
Yeah, kid's special, man. Even in the playoffs, he was our best player a lot of nights. He would dominate us, being a D-man, which was crazy. He'd be all over the ice. This guy must have hit 30 posts this year. I think he's going to score 30. Maybe not this year, but in a full season.
Save. Yeah. Good save. No pressure, kid.
Too. I hope he scores 30 this year. Get a couple second apples for sure. No, but in an 82-game season, he'll definitely score 30 multiple times, I think. He's got a great shot. He's like a fourth forward out there sometimes with his speed, and we're lucky to have him for sure.
And we were talking, both the World Juniors, USA ended up pulling it out. It was a hell of a gold medal game, but you guys have these absolute studs playing in that tournament that are going to be there soon. It's wild. It's crazy. And to see this team and like you've been there for a while now, really be set up to go on an absolute run here. It's got to feel so good.
Yeah, it feels great, man. A lot of tough years. There's only 3 of us left, me, EJ, and Gabe left from the first team. We've been through some tough, some dog days for sure with this organization, with everybody starting from the top, they've turned it around, and it's cool that they haven't traded all of us yet. So we're still here, and we got some horses, like you said, like, Bo and Byram. I thought he was the best player, and I guess that Zegras was really good as well, but I thought Bo was dominant in that tournament. New Hook, Barron. So we're loaded, man, but gotta execute. Doesn't mean anything, gotta get the job done, and hopefully we can get it before we get all those prospects and keep going on runs after.
Probably a big reason why the Tyson Barrie trade happens, just having all these D in the pipeline. Everybody was well aware how close you guys were. What's it like not only losing probably your best friend, but a guy who was teeing you up on the power play, a guy that you're playing quite a bit on the ice with?
Yeah, even off the ice, man, we'd hang out every day. We sit beside each other on the plane, pick him up for every home game. It's tough. I think he's in a great situation now. I think he's comfortable in Edmonton. He's obviously playing with a couple decent players there. I think Tyson will dominate this season and get some of that respect back. Obviously it was a tough start in Toronto, but I thought he played really well when Keefe came in, and hopefully he can build on that with Edmonton here.
Whit just mentioned the juniors. I want to bring up Bo and Byram. I know he's not officially on the team yet. Everyone thinks he's going to stick. I know he practiced with you guys in the bubble. He never got into a game. What should we expect from this kid, Nate, if he does stick with the team? I hear he's like a real life of the party type.
Yeah, he is, man. He was quiet with us in the bubble. He was an ace, but I saw that one World Junior video with him last year. I think he was calling everyone like kitty cat, and everyone just says he won't stop talking. So that's fun, man. I like guys like that. It's fun to bring a little life to the party. I'm sure he won't be like that right away, but if he's playing this year, maybe halfway through the year, he'll start to loosen up. We'll have to get him going.
Can't be coming in hot like that. Can't be doing
Who would
that.
ever do that? Who would ever do that?
On our team, probably the one team that you could. We're pretty loose.
Yeah, you don't do it to Mark Recchi, John Leclerc, Lyle Lodeline, and Mario Lemieux, though. I learned that one.
Hey, first game of the year, Sakic's walking by. He's in a fucking Speedo reading out the game card of who's starting.
Burnaby Joe, holy fuck, looking great in person. You're like, who is this kid?
I don't think I've heard this story. What did you do?
I just I played the first 9 games of the year in the minors, and I was like, I'd been there for like a year and a half or whatever. So I knew all the guys. I was really loud. Then I came up to Pittsburgh, and I was in the locker room like, let's go wreck 'em ball. Come on, Odie. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
If he wouldn't have had 2 seconds that night, he would have been on fucking waivers.
Yeah, I think Orbig's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
That's a veteran group, man.
But I was with him also in camp, but still, it's no excuse. I mean, but Byram sounds like my type of guy.
What do you make of Barrel Gate? Did you see Barrel Gate going around? They brought out the barrel with the Canada logo on it. Were you fired up, Nate?
It pissed me off for like 1 second. That I'm like, I don't know. Like, what am I going to get mad?
You're like, I have a heart to worry about. I don't get to worry about this fucking Barrel Gate.
So what was it like? Did they?
So it wasn't.
I never heard of a barrel thing. I never heard of like.
It was the best cover up by a head coach in league history.
No, it was like a Canadian reporter.
Barrel down.
Sorry.
So but like, what is it? One barrel at a time? Like, what does that even mean?
The team sent an internal memo back in December, and I guess there was some story. I don't know if it was a legend or whatever of people crossing the Sahara. And I guess when the French, had colonized that particular part of the Sahara, there was all these way stations along that basically closed up, so they would put a barrel every 5 kilometers so you know where the horizon ended. And they said if you were crossing the desert, all you had to do was see the next barrel to know where you had to go. So each team was a barrel for the United States. So obviously Canada happened to be the last team, so we didn't see the barrels before because they hadn't won a gold medal, so they brought it out in the ice. So it could have just as easily been Russia on the barrel. And plus, the memo that Ryan Richard,
unless you have diabetes.
Ryan Richard, the reporter, he's the one who posted the story. It was from December 19th, so it wasn't like I doubt they had this conspiracy to.
But you
call
guys
Canada
were trash in the game, so even if it was, you should just take it because when you win, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's true.
It was tough, man. It's tough. Our Andre Torini was not my first coach, but my first 2 years, he was our D coach here. And I was rooting for him too. He's an unbelievable coach. So tough loss for the boys, but definitely didn't deserve it.
You played in 2013?
Technically I played.
Oh, then you got hurt.
He had one apple.
No. I didn't get hurt.
You didn't get hurt? What happened?
Man, I didn't play.
Really?
Get the water bottle.
Pigeon toss.
Oh my God.
Pigeon toss. How mad were you?
I played. I was 13 forward. Like I could just never I don't know. I get it. Well, actually what happened, they just didn't trust me. I know that. Like the Super Series game.
Yes.
Like I was so bad the first game. I turned the puck over. Like Russians went and scored. Like I was trying to toe drag at the blue line and just doing dumb stuff. And I had a good game the second game, but I just think I don't know. They just got turned off by my
He's
play.
like, and then I took it personal, and then went on. To
I took it personal.
With MJ on him.
No, Steve Spott. I really like Spotter. Yeah. He was awesome to me. He was upfront with me. There's no hard feelings or anything. I just definitely wish I played. I remember I played 2 shifts in the bronze medal game, and just tough, man. Yeah. So
taking meat laps.
Yeah.
Hoover.
No, man. He's you're dairy. What are you, dairy and gluten free?
Yeah, mostly. Definitely some cheat
Are you
meals.
still on? I remember last time we talked. He's been on the sweet potato train. Apparently, you've been farting all over the locker room because of it.
But Biz, just to go back quick, I said he was taking meat laps, doing the laps.
Yeah, I just try to coordinate the meat and make
okay, fair enough. I thought you thought we were all of a sudden.
Nate,
we're
somewhat paid to try to be funny around here, and that's my full attempt right there. So a fake laugh would be nice once in a while. Appreciated.
Got you next time, bro.
All right,
for sure, man.
Nate, I want to ask you about the upcoming schedule. You guys are playing 7 division rivals 8 times each. Are you looking forward to it? I wouldn't say dreading it, but are you indifferent to it? I know you got to play the schedule they give you, but that's pretty intense. 8 times each, 7 teams.
Yeah, it's crazy. You play a team 4 times in a row as well, 2 at home, 2 on the road, or vice versa. Yeah. Is that how it used to be, Whit and Biz? Like,
no,
in the jungle.
In the jungle, dude, it was you'd just bang out a bunch in a row and you'd play a team like 10 times. But man. I don't remember ever back-to-backs with one team's one thing. But now when you got the 4 and 5 nights or 4 and 6 nights, I think I saw, that's crazy.
But your first couple of years, or didn't the West not really play the East?
No,
like
I started and it wasn't like you played every team.
Yeah, twice
twice a year, home and home.
Yeah. So I mean, one division, 8. I think we have like how many teams? We have 7 in our division or something. Yeah,
8 teams in the division. So you'll be playing 7 other teams 8 times each.
It's going to be by that 3rd or 4th game. Hopefully it goes well. You know, you getting swept in a series or whatever. But I think it's just, you know, up to your own team to bring that focus and, you know, no matter who you're playing, I guess to bring that, you know, focus and passion or whatever to every game. Obviously no fans still, it's going to be another obstacle, but it should be okay.
I was actually just going to ask you that has Denver come out and said that you guys won't be a place allowing any fans?
Yeah, not at this time. So. Okay. Is it just Texas and Florida? Just Texas and Florida?
Phoenix, Arizona's doing 3,500, so it's a normal game.
Okay. Damn.
The fuck are you laughing at?
Damn, man.
Yeah, you're gonna get redemption, baby, for that playoff performance. Back to back unsportsmanlike games when you guys ran up the score.
Man, we didn't mean to, bro. We should have. I wish we didn't. I feel like that was bad.
It would be cool
on your power play.
It would be cool if they went reverse retro jerseys against each other this year. I think those are the 2 best in the league.
That would be cool. I think I don't know when we're gonna wear them, but I know for that we're playing in Lake Tahoe, I guess. So
yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Hopefully we wear those then. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's among the 4 games straight. You're going to be playing Vegas 4 straight in February, and including the game at Lake Tahoe. Do you guys have any details on the rink or any of that stuff yet, or you just kind of cross that bridge when you get to it?
Well, I think actually they're just going to build it like outdoors. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, Biz thought you were skating on the pond.
It's not even no. I accidentally said that last pod, and then Whit ran with it. I said it
too, and then Biz tried chirping me for thinking that it might happen. It was a classic moment of 2 dum-dums talking. Basically, is what it came down to.
I was going to ask you a hockey question here. So it's I never get an answer where I say, who's the guy in the league you hate the most? Who's the guy where you know when you're going to be playing against him, you're like, fuck, I'm in for a long night. And every bit of offense I try to create is I'm going to have this guy barking down my neck.
Yeah, I think an underrated guy would be Philip Deneau in Montreal. I think he should. I don't know if he gets Selke recognition or not, but he should, man. He's so hard to play against. Such a good centerman, man. He's all over me every time we play Montreal, home or away. I find it's definitely really hard to get space against him, and hopefully he wins the Selke one day. I think he deserves it. I think he's good against everybody, not just me. So
that's a trade Blackhawks fans they really regret not having him anymore. That was a tough one. With your team though, what's the vibe like with Bednar? I mean, when you're on a really good team, it's hard not to get along with the coach, especially, you know, being the player you are. But what's his attitude like? Is he joking around with guys? Is he super serious? How's that all been?
Yeah, Bedsy's awesome, man. He's a mix. Like you could chirp Bedsy, like he's got like long hair now, so we're all giving it to him about his hair. And, he loves it though. Like he chirps back. Like he's a funny guy, man. But he's also serious too. Like when it's time to get, you know, down to business video, if we're, you know, fucking off in practice, whatever, he'll give it to us. But even when we came last, he was still like a good guy to have around. You know, he wasn't miserable every day. He always brings a good vibe to the rink, which is cool. I know every coach isn't like that, but Bedsy's great, man. Really great hockey mind as well. You know, just an easygoing Sasky boy. You know, he's simple dude, likes to hunt, and he's great.
Nate, you guys got even deeper in the offseason. You added defenseman Devin Taves, forward Brandon Saad. You did lose Nikita Zadorov, but I mean, you guys are even probably more confident going into this year, or what? Adding a couple pieces like that, they could put you over the top.
Yeah, no, definitely. We feel great. Camp has been awesome so far. Everyone has the same goal, is to win. This season, I thought last year we had a chance. This year, obviously, it's a big one, man. You don't get a ton of opportunities. My first few years, like I was saying earlier, it was tough. You just scraping and clawing to make the playoffs, and now, the goal is to actually win. So it's a really cool position we're in. And with the guys we added with Saad and Taze, there's no excuse. We can stay healthy and put our best foot forward and try to get this done.
Does a player of your stature ever get the text from the GM before a move is made? Like, does he ever give you the heads up that something's coming?
No, I don't get that. No,
nothing.
There's no. You see that James Harden stuff? Is that why you referred? Are you wearing the team? Oh, okay.
Oh, no. But that did come out recently. How he would just go on benders, fly in the day of the game,
go to ATL.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he do with the trades and stuff?
He would sign off on every trade and who they hire as a coach. He'd have to sign off on that. It's crazy, man. These guys are the owners.
It's a different world.
Yeah, well, these guys bring so much value. If LeBron's on your team is worth double. I don't know. It's just in hockey, obviously we're good players, but we're not really pissing a drop compared to yeah, exactly. So not that I would.
You're I can't get a fucking text here from Joe.
They're making 45 a year, some of them, aren't they?
Yeah, man, 50 a year.
Yeah,
crazy.
Buddy.
Yeah,
you times that's your whole contract. You're the best player in the league, you peasant.
Yeah, man, team friendly, baby. Love it.
Team friendly, baby. Yeah, it is true. Fuck, man. Look at the Bruins. Look how you guys are doing it.
Yeah,
Biz, sorry.
Obviously, it's not. You don't want to be the best contract in the league. That's definitely something you don't want, but it's obviously cool to, all these great players on our team wouldn't be possible if, one of us was making 13 or 14 or something. So,
last time we had you on, I don't think we talked about the time you were on Jerry D. So your acting ability. And then I think after we had you on, you were in an animation series with Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I started with Jerry. I was just playing for the Mooseheads, and he's a big hockey fan. So, he asked me to bring one of the boys from the Moose to come act. And I think the episode was you need to take school more seriously, because I was in his class. He's like, you'll never go anywhere in hockey. I never would anywhere in hockey. You never will either.
So you were playing yourself in it?
I was playing myself. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
In both. And the second one, I got kidnapped by Bubbles and Ricky to beat the Moncton Mudslides in an outdoor game. Man. Those guys are awesome, man. Those guys are so funny.
Who's your favorite character on Trailer Park Boys?
Probably Julian. I think Julian would be my favorite. He always has a rum and coke in his hand, his black tea on. He's so funny. All those guys, they're all from Coal Harbor, Nova Scotia area. So, whenever they have stand-ups in Denver, I'll go watch. And they had me on the show. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Biz just mentioned hoops a second ago. It's funny. I had an analogy written down. Watching the playoffs this year reminded me of the old 3-point contest with Larry Bird. He shoots the last shot, and right when he lets it go, he puts the number one up, because that's how confident he is. The shot's going on. That's what you reminded me of, just peak confidence. Every shot's going to go in. Is that where you are right now in your career, and do you still feel the same confidence you had in the bubble?
Yeah, I felt great, man. I think the less travel was awesome for me. I got to rest up after every game. You play a ton of minutes. A couple more back-to-backs though with being there, but not just myself, the whole team. Like I said, Kale was dominant. Mikko, Landy, all these guys had amazing performances, and hopefully we can carry that into this season.
I know we mentioned the retro jersey too. I know that you were born after Quebec actually left, but what's your take on the new retro reverse jersey or reverse retro?
I think it's awesome. That's what everybody's buying. I get, people tag me and all their, Christmas. I think a ton of kids and even adults bought these jerseys. So they're a hit, man. And, hopefully we can wear them more than, our regular one this year. They're so cool. And, I thought they were going to be baby blue, but at first I didn't love it, to be honest. I thought with the Nordiques, I was just envisioning baby blue with Joe Sakic and Peter Stastny and all those guys, but they look great and pumped to wear them.
I think that they are the best, but I mean, you got to think that if they're gonna come out with all those jerseys, there's gonna be some tough ones. And when I saw Detroit's, we were laughing at them when we did the show. It's like a practice jersey, so you got to think that you're lucky.
I haven't even seen it.
Oh my god, it's amazing! But you guys got the one that you actually want to wear every night. It's true.
Yeah, we're lucky, man. I mean, some of those jerseys can be tough. I've seen some thirds that actually look like practice jerseys. I think the Blues in like 2008 had practice jerseys. Full time though. I don't remember those ones.
I want to piggyback kind of off RA's question. So, you're playing the way you have been. Is there one thing in particular when you had this whole break that you wanted to like add to your game? Like, what's the one thing where you're like, I need to get better at this?
Probably face-offs. Not great at them for whatever reason. I got better in the playoffs. I put a little more time into them, but definitely something I'd like to get better at and hopefully be around 50% this season. So that's what I'm looking for.
One guy. Oh, sorry. What?
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to hop
hockey
in.
Related.
Can I get a piggyback question off of that?
Sure.
Is Sid helping you with those?
No, we didn't do any face-offs this offseason. That'd be crazy. Some face-offs. But
sorry, I wasn't a centerman. Sorry about the stupid question.
Hey, they do an auction to auction off who's going to come and drop the pucks, Biz.
You get local refs.
It's a big deal in Cole Harbor.
Yeah.
I was going to mention one guy who wasn't on the team last time we talked to you, Nazem Kadri. What element did he bring to the Avalanche that maybe you guys were lacking before he got there?
Have you guys had Nas on before?
We haven't.
No.
Oh man, you guys got to get Nas on. He's the man. He's a funny guy, like hilarious, and he's got some swag to him too. In a great way. Like he brings such a fun element to our team. Like, he's not arrogant at all, but you'd think he's won like 5 Hearts and 5 Hart Rosses in a great way though. Like he's just so confident. Like, oh man, he's such a great guy to have around the room. Like no matter what the circumstances, Nas is the same every day. Brings a great mood to the team, and hopefully you guys can chop it up with him sometime. He'd be great to have.
You talk about the mood, and I just read a tweet before we came on. They're having, I guess it's unsettling times as far as who gets the aux cord in the locker room in Toronto. Who gets it with Colorado, and what are they bumping mostly?
Zadorov had it actually last year. He played good tunes. He'd get these like mixes, and it was good. I don't know. It was Colin Wilson and Z. They're both gone now, so we got to figure it out. I don't know.
Are you? If you could pick a top genre, are you a rap guy?
Yeah, I'm a rap guy for sure.
Who are your top 5 guys right now?
Lil Baby. I like Lil Baby.
He's tight.
Oh, have you seen that guy on Instagram?
He is so gangster. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy. I like Drake, obviously.
Who's the guy who died that's like pretty legit? Is it Juice WRLD?
Yeah, Juice WRLD. I really like Juice WRLD too. He died too.
But he's dead. Yeah, he has some bangers.
Yeah, he's got some bangers too.
Hey,
I like everything, man.
You know who was nice? Who also I believe got shot was that Pop Smoke.
Yeah, man. He's bringing that tone. Yeah, that mood. He was fire. Pre-game songs were fire, man. For sure.
Speaking of rap, did Lil Sid and Nate Dogg collab on a new album in the offseason or what?
Lil Cross?
Lil Cross, yeah.
I'm looking for Lil Cross's debut album, man.
Album's called Working on Draws. Just fucking figuring it all out together.
At my boat launch, yeah. Oh yeah.
All the profits from those shirts are going towards all the therapy I needed after those 8-1 spankings you gave us in playoffs.
Oh man. Were you in the bubble? Calling the games or no?
No.
Yeah. No. Not that committed to the Yote.
Somebody, I would have brought fucking COVID.
The bubble would have been bursted if he was there.
Oh yeah.
Would sneak it out.
I know, Nate. There's a lot of talk about the Avs in the cup, and it's a couple of busts this year. You like the pressure. Some guys wilt underneath it. How do you compartmentalize that pressure so you're not constantly thinking must-win cup over and over? How do you do that? What's your mental approach there?
I think day by day, man. Obviously, we're not even close to that yet. We haven't won a game this season. So, every day in camp, every day in the regular season, we just need to build. And I think obviously the record matters, but we just want to get better throughout the season. You look at Tampa 2 years ago, I think they lost like 10 games, 15 games and, got swept and they came back and won the cup. And I think, they realized the record, whatever, doesn't really matter in the regular season, especially in hockey. There's so much parity that, we just need to get better every day. And it's going to be a grind. Our division is a lot of big defensive teams, a lot of really good teams. So it's going to be, first of all, get into the playoffs and hopefully we're rolling when we get there.
I got a little off hockey topic, and that's the golf game. And we talk second Sandbag. Yeah. You guys do want a rematch. What was the game this summer? Were you playing a lot? Was the course closed during the shutdown? What's the deal? And how's Sid's game?
My golf game's in shambles.
No, dude, this is what. You were money then. You were just on that path up.
Swing thoughts, man. I gotta. Before I hit the ball, I got like 7 different thoughts in my head. Because I get a lot of lessons.
Hey, double that, and you got me, buddy.
I know.
Like Biz doing an interview.
I know. I feel like there's a point where you just get too many lessons, and I don't know. I got to figure it out. You're on Instagram looking at every swing tip there is on YouTube, and
you got the toys, the little ball, with the string.
Yeah, in my house, looking in the mirror at my takeaway. And, oh man, so I just got to keep it simple. But come July or August, when the season's over, the boys will have to go to Boston and make you guys pay for dinner this time.
That was a nice dinner.
You taught me the oyster trick, man. I use it all the time. So simple. When you're done with your oyster, put it face down, and then there's nothing left in there.
Exactly. Not digging through with your fingers. There you go.
Did you train with Marshy at all? And did he trip you up at all?
No, Marshy. I think Marshy stayed in Boston this offseason. I think he had surgery. So
that's sports.
He was rehabbing there and stuff. So missed him. Missed that guy around the rink. He's always a treat. So hopefully next summer he's back.
You mentioned Colin Wilson earlier. I reached out to him. He obviously went through some difficult times towards the end of his career. Had he ever came to you about that stuff while you were playing with him?
Yeah, he was really open about the stuff he was going through. Obviously, definitely learned some things in that article. Played with Willie for 3 years, and I think it was great the way he came out and spoke. I think a lot of players, a lot of athletes, a lot of people go through those similar things. And it takes courage, man, to come out and put it all out there. But Willie's an open guy about it. He's not ashamed at all. And, he was great. I think he just announced his retirement officially. Yeah. This guy went through a lot of injuries, a lot of surgeries, tough on the mental. It's harder than people think to always be, on the shelf, battling with something. So great for Willie, man. And, hopefully he's got an unreal retirement. He made some good money. He's chilling for sure. He had a great career.
He was a BU guy, so I never got the chance to play with him. But first time I ever met this kid, Biz, I was training with a buddy of mine who was just playing in Europe, and it might have been Friday. It was like an afternoon. We were just going over there to maybe like stretch or ride the bike. He was an incoming freshman at BU, Wilson, and I look at him. He's got 50 pounds hanging from the weight belt, and he's literally dummying full arm pull-ups. Like,
he's an animal, man.
20 of them, and he was 18. I was like, who is this kid? Sure enough, he ends up being a high pick, has a great career. So I know he went through a ton, but an awesome guy, and that's good to hear that even talking to you, he's open with all that stuff.
Yeah, he is. And even about like his training, he said he used to just he wishes he didn't do some of that, I think.
Oh, he was clean in 320, and he was like 16 years old.
Hey, I'm going to be honest. I probably went way too hard when I was first starting out too, squatting like 4 plates, just like really stupid shit that ended up tightening me up long term and led. What are you laughing at? You think I'm humble bragging about squatting 4 plates right now? Quadzilla over here.
Laughed in your face about your like legit. You're emotional. I lifted too much.
I'm sorry,
my career.
I'm sorry,
Biz, you owe this guy a beating. You owe this guy.
I already gave it to him on the fucking golf course.
I know.
How do you like that one, Nate Dogg?
I forget that you used to kill guys on the ice. I got to be more careful around you.
I might make a fucking comeback. I just got to get a yoga instructor, a hands coach.
Yeah,
man. You're going to do the Tour de France. Do you think Biz can do Tour de France if he trained legit from today for 6 more months?
Are you biking? You biking right now, Biz?
No, I haven't hopped on yet. I actually did a stationary a couple months ago, though. I did 20 minutes. I was buzzing.
Same thing.
He Googled Peloton. That's about it.
I think you got to get on the juice if you're going to do the
Well, they all are anyway. Fuck, might as well join the show.
Some HGH going. Should be good.
Oh, man.
Hey, G tells us you're a video game guy. Do you play randos or all NHL guys? How's that work?
Yeah, I got both. I got like a gaming community going. I play a lot of Fortnite. I just love it. I don't know why. I just love to compete. Come home from the rink and just compete on Fortnite. I'm not great, but
compete.
Got these little gamer kids that are really good. I just play with them mostly.
Do they know who you are? Twitch streams going though too, Nate. Though you got the Twitch streams going.
Yeah. I streamed a little bit, man. I really enjoyed streaming, blasting some of my favorite tunes, and honestly, like, I don't love usually talking with like the media and stuff, but it's cool to have your own platform streaming, get to interact with fans directly. That's why I like podcasts too. There's no like opinion, you guys just rip me after. I don't know, but
we're definitely gonna chuck a few sound bites up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you just kind of control the the vibe and how you want to say things. There's no really opinion about it. And I thought that was cool with streaming too. Just hang out, talk to fans, and I liked it. It was fun.
When people are playing against you, do they always know it's you, or do you sometimes go anonymous?
No, what's my epic name or whatever? It's Young Nate. Like it's like my rap name, Young Nate.
So, Lil Vaughn.
All right,
Lil Nate, Lil Nate and Fortnite.
That's unreal. Hey, maybe if you're looking to make a few extra bucks, we could sign you to the Song Daddies. Grinnelli, you have to play underneath Grinnell because he's got his own character in the EA game. I don't know if you know that.
We'll take you.
Is it NHL?
NHL
man,
21.
Awful. I got to get on that, man. I'm awful.
Warensky pumped me 20-0. Dude, so it's all good. I'm pretty bad too.
Oh, I feel like you'd be awesome at that, man.
That you have to be better than that now. That was like right when you started.
Oh,
playing,
I'm much better now. I'd pump Nate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's being humble.
Ooh.
He's being humble.
Like Biz talking about his four plates on the.
Yeah, let's go. Like we can go back.
Screwed
to
you
that.
for your career,
Biz. I remember you were a machine.
I messed you up.
Yeah, and then I think it messed me up, guys. I was getting too swole.
Your hands got swollen.
Hey, I kind of interrupted you, Shocker, when you were talking about the acting thing a little bit. Is that something you could see yourself maybe doing a little bit more of post career?
I don't think anyone will want me post career, man.
I thought you were pretty good naturally.
Did you watch the Trailer Park Boys one when the first one, like not the cartoon?
No, I didn't even know you were on Trailer Park Boys.
Though that was the cartoon one. And then I did another one before that. It was actually, I was like 220. I was thick. I was a thick boy then. It was Bubbles started like a hockey camp, and there was like weed growing everywhere around the kids. And it was pretty funny, man. I was like, don't do drugs, right? What's up?
2011? No, season 11, correct?
Oh. Yeah. Season 11, episode 7. Check it out.
Was that or the animated one about the Stanley Bong?
The Stanley Bong was the animated one. Yeah, okay. That was the animated one. Yeah, that's what I got kidnapped for. Help beat the mudslides. So funny.
Oh my
come up with that stuff, man.
Oh, this is too good.
No, when you were on Mr. D, I thought you had some chops too. You were pretty convincing because sometimes you have athletes on and they're obviously athletes doing an acting thing, but you were pretty good in that.
Okay, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm on IMDb. I got my own page going, so I could apply for my ACTRA. So we'll see. See if I need a little cash after hockey.
Are you going to want an acting credit for the next Sandbagger? Just so I know, so I have to register.
No, he wants a check, Biz.
Oh, okay.
All right. I couldn't believe how well that video did, man. That was cool.
That's Pasha.
Oh, you were surprised Sidney Crosby and Nathan MacKinnon golfing got a lot of views?
What do you I don't know, but I think it turned out better than you guys even thought. I'm sure.
Half those.
Yeah. Like that
half those views were Grinnelli from staring at Sid's quads.
Things are unbelievable.
We went to the course. We thought we might get a couple holes. Remember, Biz? All of a sudden we got.
Let's tell the story. So you guys finally agree to come on and get interviewed. So our fucking cocks are rock hard, right? So I'm like, I'm thinking with Pasha and the guys. I'm like, hey, let's get him for a round of golf too. And I kept texting Sid that you could tell he was not down for this.
He was not feeling it.
So, but you guys agreed to go golfing. So I said, perfect. I said, Pasha, show up around the third hole. And we did an intro on hole 3 with the CCM stick.
Yeah. I think we were just so.
That was the third hole we did that?
Oh, yeah. We ambushed him. He couldn't say no. He said it's too nice. So I'm like, perfect. Show up hole 3. So we do the intro. And I'll be honest, I didn't realize how short the course was because we moved up because it was wet, and I probably shouldn't be given as many strokes. I was on fire in that front 9, and it did look bad. And fuck, thank God you showed some emotion and snapped and called me a sandbagger, because that's kind of how it all started.
It took me a while to snap. Usually it's quicker than that. Hole 9, you were like +2 through 9, playing at a 23 handicap. It was unbelievable. But I think
it was actually one of the biggest sandbagging experiences. Remember I was like, Biz, I was like, hit a bad one. I was like, hit a bad one, dude. They're going to fucking snap.
And then you shot like a 68 on top of it.
That
you
entire
played
day,
really good. You played great.
I played good on the back, and Biz was sick on the front. And then the fact that we ended it with like a birdie on 18, you bought us dinner after you gave us the interview, was just perfect.
Oh, man.
We'll always have
like
that memory.
I was shot like a 73 that day.
I was looking at the wine list of the restaurant on hole 11.
Oh my God. We've been grinding for that game the whole senior 18.
I remember I hit a bunker shot. I hit a bunker shot.
You jarred it, right?
No, I hit it left. I hit it left. I hit it left. No, I hit a 6 shot, and you go, you're dead there. That's jail. I'm like, oh shit. And I get up there, and it kind of was. And this shot spun and stopped, and it was a tap in. And I remember I looked over, and you're like, fuck this. Fuck this.
Just screaming.
Just 2 competitive bastards getting beat by 2 clowns. That was classic.
Yeah, that was real emotion, man. No acting there.
So we're just going to have to tell Sid it's a round of golf in Boston. There's going to be 17 cameras there when he shows up.
Yeah, it's going to be a full studio of cameras pulling up. I think Sid was so into the match, though, that he didn't even like really notice like the camera. You know what I mean? He just compete. You know, he started being competitive, and you know, it was great. And I'm glad we filmed that, because not just for YouTube, but it's cool to look back at for sure.
Well, dude, it's
thanks for doing it.
It's great to catch up with you again, man. It seems like it was 5 years ago we saw you guys, but what a great season you had. And I think this year with your team, sky's the limit. So looking forward to watching you guys play, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks, boys, for having me. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure, Nate. Thanks so much. Good luck this year. Keep killing it. Huge thanks to our boy, the Nate Dog, for joining us once again. Always a pleasure to have him on. Great guy, easy to root for as well. Gang, we know that insurance can be complicated, and that's why The Zebra was created. When you use thezebra.com, insurance finally feels like it's in black and white. No more confusion, just honest rates from real companies. The Zebra is the nation's leading insurance comparison site for car and home insurance. They can help you save money today. It's so easy. Go to thezebra.com. You answer a few questions to compare accurate insurance quotes for free. And don't worry, the Zebra protects your personal information and makes sure there are no hidden fees or surprises along the way. And the best part, you can secure your insurance from thezebra.com or over the phone from one of their licensed insurance agents. How much money can you save on your car or home insurance? Visit thezebra.com/chiclets. That's THEZEBRA.com/chiclets, CHICLETS, for insurance in black and white. By all means, check that out. Anytime you can get your insurance lower, it's always a good thing. All right, got some notes here I'm going to run through. If you guys want to chime in, do so. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, he's day-to-day with a lower body injury. He's going to miss at least 2 games. He took a hit from Evander Kane. One of the games versus the Sharks didn't return. Patrick Laine was out Monday with the upper body injury per Paul Maurice. We mentioned already Andre Kasha is on the injured reserve. Sean Couturier is going to miss a couple weeks, and Pittsburgh defenseman Mike Matheson also has an upper body injury, was also placed on the IR. Alexander Ovechkin scored his 707th goal on Sunday. He now sits just 1 goal behind Mike Gardner for 7th on the all-time goal list. We already have a suspension this season. St. Louis's Sammy Blais was given 2 games for a hit on Devin Taves. I thought we were going to get another one. Nick Dowd, he hit Eric Stahl, a very similar hit. I thought for sure he was going to get at least a game. Didn't get nothing at all, which I was surprised. Biz, did you think he was going to get a game for that?
I haven't seen the hit. All right. Although
Okay.
a former teammate of mine, both have a Calder Cup ring with the Manchester Monarchs. How the hell are you? Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, either way, it was just, it looks very similar to the previous one, but Mike Hoffman missed the opener due to work visa issues. Biz, you just mentioned the Coyotes using the post-game pelt. Well, I like what the Capitals are doing. If you didn't see that clip, Peter Laviolette come in. He said he watched every show on TV for the last 9 to 10 months, and Cobra Kai was his favorite. So,
God,
they're doing those Cobra Kai.
That was his favorite fucking show.
Yeah, I mean, he should DM me if he wants to. I'm not shitting on Cobra Kai, but
he should be fired. Laviolette should be fired for saying that fucking show is his favorite show on television. I'm not. Wait, you're laughing? I ain't fucking laughing.
But he's like, he remembers the Karate Kid days, dude. Like, it's like
nostalgia.
I heard someone, who the hell said it to me?
All right, out of 10,
it might have been Ross
give
Yandle. It might have been Ross. Officer Ross might have said he loves it.
I haven't. I put it on one night. I just wasn't in the mood for it, so I haven't seen it fully. So I can't really comment. I just know
Terry?
that there are better shows to watch on fucking
Chris Terry. It's fucking Chris Terry, buddy.
Either way, they have one for like offense and one for defense because, you know, Miyagi and Daniel
Or
Son and
Troy.
all that. It was pretty funny, though.
It's Troy Terry.
I played against Chris Terry. He was nice.
There is a Chris Terry. I thought so. It's fucking brutal. No offense, Laviolette, and to the people who did it. Fuck. I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Laviolette's going to be coming at you with what you watch, Biz. He's going to be like, oh, yeah? You're going to dog Cobra Kai? You're watching Medium fucking documentaries on Netflix getting scammed. Who's talking about shows, Biz?
I got sucked. Well, listen, it was a topic. It's not so much just fuck you, Whit. How about that?
No, I'm saying what he could come back at you with. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm saying what he could hit you back with. You got to always think about what that return punch is going to be.
At least I learned something. That it's that regeneration is fake. Ha!
Biz is going to get catfished by a fucking Twitter account at Oda Mae Brown after this fucking episode drops.
I don't even get the joke, but I'm going to laugh.
It's a Ghost. You never saw Ghost? You ever see Ghost with Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore? I know it's an older one, but you must have seen Ghost.
I knew it was gonna be funny.
I've probably seen it. I don't remember. I just know the scene where they're making the clay.
Oh, one of the most erotic scenes ever.
Yeah, Biz,
no
they're
nudity.
getting after
Could I
it.
beat off to that?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, but there's nothing going on besides making a vase.
Yeah, it's honestly it's one of the most erotic films, scenes in film that has no nudity or really any semblance of nudity. It's just the way they film it. They got the Righteous Brothers fucking in the background.
She's like twerking on the clay machine.
I mean, Unchained Melody is one of the most romantic songs of all time, especially when fucking Bobby Hatfield and
listen, I'm going to check it out.
Bobby
I haven't seen that movie. I know you guys. Sometimes I've seen it come on. I wouldn't
chirp you for not having seen this. It's older. Yeah. It's like you were watching Baby Blue 2, whatever it was.
Whoopi won the Oscar too for her performance as the huckster fucking medium, Oda Mae Brown. All right, moving right along. Signings, retirements, captains. Dylan Larkin was named captain of the Red Wings, as we all expected. The 24-year-old becomes the 37th captain in team history, the first Michigan native to wear it. Luke Glendening and Franz Nielsen will get the A's. Mark Stone was named the first captain in Vegas Golden Knights history. Alex Pietrangelo and Riley Smith will get the A's. I love watching that fucking guy play, by the way.
Who?
Sorry, if you hear yelling, the little late Bruins, I think they got the goalie pulled. Sorry, you got it on the background. I can't even watch it and read at the same time. Marcus Foligno signed a 3-year, $9.3 million extension with Minnesota that kicks in after this season. Travis Hamonic officially signed his 1-year, $1.25 million deal at Vancouver after his PTO stint. We already mentioned Chicago signing Jeremy Colleton to a 2-year extension. That runs through the 23 season. Couple of retirement notes. Jay Bouwmeester retired after 17 NHL seasons and a Stanley Cup in 2019. 1,240 regular season games, 75 more in the playoffs. Only time he ever played in the AHL was during the lockout. Just a great teammate, beloved guy.
What a fucking G, man. What a G. And he just dips like, no, I'm done. I'm going to file my papers. No press conference. I'm just
wicked. He's just a wicked low-key guy.
He's a fucking 20 out of 10. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Gomez was saying how he's low-key funny. And
I want all you Blues fans out there.
Instagram.
That guy was one
all
of
you Blues fans who started ragging on him when he came off hip surgery the 1 year and you were complaining about him at the beginning of the season. I want you to take your fists and sock yourself right in the face for it.
Didn't he get scratched?
I think he might have even been a scratch, and the fan base was all over on him. And he was a vital piece to winning that Stanley Cup.
Yeah, he was.
He is a fucking G, and he's a professional, and he probably showed up every day trying to figure that hip thing out, and he was buzzing. So you got to make a fist, and you got to punch yourself in the face.
A pro's pro, no doubt. Adam McQuaid, who was a big part of the 2011 Boston Bruins Stanley Cup run, he officially called it quits. He last played back in 2019. I mean, I think it was known he wasn't going to play again, but he actually made it official over the weekend, 580 regular season and playoff games. And it's funny because he was a stay-at-home defenseman type, and he's actually, the highlight of his career was probably, other than beating the fuck out of a bunch of guys, was that pinch in Game 7 versus Montreal Witt. It ends up leading to the series with clinching goal by Nathan Horton. So he's a big part of that fucking run, no doubt.
I got the chance to meet Adam McQuaid when you'd skate with the Bruins when they'd come back before the local NHL guys went off to their respective cities. I'll tell you right away, like maybe one of the nicest people, the most friendly, down to earth, I'm going to say Eastern Canadians. You know, what's it called, Biz, when they're over there, where he's from? What do they call that area?
Like East Coast?
Yeah, East Coast people. You know how they're just an extra level of just like good people?
Well, they call them Newfies over there.
I don't think he's from Newfoundland, though. Either way.
He's a PEI guy.
Yeah, PEI. So I met him right away, and like the most unassuming guy, soft-spoken, handsome fella, big dude. And then you see this guy play, and now I never saw what I'm about to mention, like in the preseason skates. Everyone's just skating in shape, snapping around. Nobody's snapping for the most part. He gets into a game and is willing to stand there toe-to-toe and did it for a long time, eating and chucking bombs, beating the absolute piss out of people.
So undercover tough.
That guy was that Darth Quader. What a nickname for him. He would stand in there like nobody. That was the team that won it all was like Thornton, him, Chara. The list went on
bullies,
and on.
Bunch of bullies.
Oh, and the way he went about, just solid defensively. Got way better with the puck as his career went on, right? Like he came into the league like maybe not the best at like snapping it tape to tape. By the end, he wasn't just killing people. He was getting it out of his zone real nice, getting shots through, just like the perfect 5'6" guy that was tough as nails. And a huge part of the Bruins' success in Stanley Cup and basically like years of just being in the hunt was Adam McQuaid. So it sucks to see how it all went down. So many scary different injuries, but having to get to meet him and occasionally run into him once in a while, I think he's going to stay local.
Yeah, what the article said, he lives in Boston. So, and as a guy who covered him a little bit here in Boston, you're right. He was soft-spoken. Like his nature off the ice was like the total opposite of his nature on the ice, like a lot of guys. But either way, congrats, Quader, on official retirement, and thanks for the memories, man. You did a great job.
Yeah, he's the guy who you're like, you accidentally get in a fight with and you don't know anything about him. And next thing you know, you're picking your fucking teeth off the ice and you're just like, your nose is halfway around your head. He was for like a part, like where like he was probably one of the most undercover heavyweights in the league, where he would stand there toe to toe, and he was a throwback fighter. Not many guys would stand in there like that in today's age.
Yeah, I think when he played in his day, one of the most feared fighters in the league. If he wasn't the toughest, he was among probably the 3 or 4 toughest while he played, I'd say. Keeping a little Bruins theme here, Willie O'Ree, his number 22 will be retired by the Bruins. I guess better late than never. Players around the league also had a decal on their helmets all weekend. We're recording here on Martin Luther King Day. Willie, of course, went into the Hockey Hall of Fame back in 2018, but it's nice for the Bruins, like I said, to do this. I know people are like, oh, it's late, it's this, it's that. I mean, Jackie Robinson's number's been retired throughout baseball for, I think, 23, 24 years now. And, Willie did the same thing and, went through the same type of shit. So, yeah, we could sit here and say it probably should have been done before, but it's being done, and I suppose we can be happy with that. And congrats to Willie. He's a great guy. We hear tremendous things about him, and it's good that he's going to get his 22 in the rafters. Hopefully they'll have some media in the building that night.
Well deserved.
Absolutely. And also, if you want to feel really old, as if I don't already fucking work with you guys, Mark Messier is 60 years old. We were going to discuss some memories of him playing. I don't know how many you guys saw, but my favorite thing of him is him drinking a beer in the locker room with a face cloth over his junk and Gary Coleman on his lap. And Gary Coleman just sitting there. You ever see that classic picture?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's dying laughing, isn't he?
Oh, he's got a huge shit-eating grin on his face. Gary Coleman, and he's like legit. His towel looks like a face cloth. Like guys just had junk flying all over the place back in the day. But obviously, I'm joking. I mean, 5 Stanley Cups he won, one more than Gretzky. Personally, the guarantee versus New Jersey game 6 was, I think, goes out, gets a hat trick, forces a game 7. And also, he took down Madonna back when she was throwing fucking some Nolan Ryan heat back in the day. So that goes on the resume.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I think Messier has been full-blown A-list celebrity. Reinduct him into that. That's a good one, Biz. I just I think he maybe gets forgotten a little bit when just you think of Gretzky right away, but I shouldn't say Mark Messier gets forgotten. He's got a fucking leadership award named after him. What a stupid statement. He was just like the perfect hockey player. I mean, I think Gretzky won 9 of 10 MVPs. Then Messier got one. He won the Conn Smythe. He also went to New York, won another MVP, and I think his first 3 years in the league, like the first year he scored 12 goals. And then the second year, it was like right around double, say it was 24. And then he shot off to 50. And that was actually the only time he ever scored 50 goals in a season. But he would run you over. He would put his elbow. This guy,
he's a man.
There's videos of this guy literally just putting his elbow right in somebody's mouth.
It reminds me of the Seth Jones story about Shaq. He's like, don't touch my wrist. He's like the cocky version. Don't touch
me again, man.
Shaq wouldn't cross-check you over the head fucking when you weren't looking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's like the Freddy Krueger of the Shaq. He was a fucking man's man. He still looks fucking good. If you see him, he's still got his shit together. He looks like he's 40 still.
To imagine running around Manhattan with him back in the fucking
buddy. He was 90s. The type of guy too. I think like legit after every game, like it's like we're going out for beers. Like
how about him buying people suits? The stories that like anyone get called up one game, boom, he's buying you a suit.
No way. I never heard about that. That's cool.
Yeah, guys have said like you get called up, there's a suit in your locker. It's from Mess. It's like I think that. When you look back at a guy, it's like you couldn't.
It's RA's leisure suit.
By the way, he won 6 cups, 5 with Edmonton and 1 with the Rangers. Sorry about that.
Oh my goodness!
But he still won.
And he won that one.
He
won the one once Gretzky left, which was what was that against the Bruins in 90?
90, yeah.
That guy was the perfect player. He did it all, and every single teammate, if he spoke, you had to listen. When you go about things a certain way, and when you speak, the entire room shuts up and does whatever you say. That's when you know you've had a grand career. I'll say that.
So going back to the question I asked Nate, I said, "Are you as big a big dog now, where you're hearing about moves before they're made?" I think Mess was usually the guy who got the phone call first and knowing exactly what was happening out with the dynamic of the team. Yes or no, Whit? Like he was like he by the end of his career, it was like he was a legend. He was a legend. He was a legend still playing. So. The fucking man. Happy 60th birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Mess. All right. Moving along here. A little gambling corner action. We'll chime in here. Now, what sucks about...
You're buzzing, RA.
RA is hot, guys. Hop on him. I've seen him go on runs.
Yeah, it's been a good one. And like I said, it's tough to give picks because the lines don't come out till the next day. So that's why I want, if you want the picks, just follow me on Twitter, follow my Instagram at @RareAdChiclets, at @RareAdBeesblog on Twitter. What I do is
his OnlyFans.
Cameo, whatever those. Yeah. Hold on. Here's my feet picks. Basically, I'll be the days that I'm going to have a bet, which is probably going to be 6 to 7 days a week. I'll have a blog. It goes up late in the afternoon. I know people already, I get up at 7, 8 in the morning to pee, and I already got people asking me who I like that night. That's like, whoa, dude, I haven't had my coffee yet. I always look late in the day. It's just because back in the day before the internet, when you would put a wager in with the local shop, that guy doesn't open till 6:37, so you wouldn't even get the lines till then. And I guess that's just the way I was raised. So I'm conditioned to wait till later in the day to make my play. So just follow me on Twitter. The Chiclets account's also going to be tweeting it out because, again, I can't tell you who to bet on a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night when I don't know the lines. But either way, like Whit said, I got a hot start. And when I do write bets, read what I'm writing. Like the other night, Saturday night, I flat out said I didn't like anything or didn't love anything. I still made a few plays. That's my way of saying, hey, I'm not putting the fucking farm down on it here. If you like it, follow. But, don't just go to the bets. Read what I'm saying. Like today, St. Louis, I made it clear I'm making a heavy bomb bet on them. So you know that I like them. I don't put amounts because sometimes I don't even know what I'm betting until I call it in. But anyways, it's been a good start. We had a really good week. If you followed along, hopefully you made some money too. So just, again, follow Chiclets, follow Instagram, follow the Chiclets Twitter, and you'll get the blog, and you can follow along at home. Make some money, ideally. Another issue I've got a lot of tweets about. I think people think I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi here, Biz. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope. We got all this blackout situation around the league. What do you call them? Regional sports networks, like basically, your Comcast Sports Nets or whatever, Fox Sports Nets, all those regional networks. Basically, all the streaming outlets don't have any deals anymore. So people who have YouTube TV or Fubo or any of these other companies, they're not carrying or they're not streaming the games anymore. And a lot of people can't watch them. And there are blackouts too. I don't know why the fuck the NHL and the teams and the advertisers, why are they doing blackouts when there are no fans in the building? I have no idea. But whoever's listening, maybe lift the fucking blackout restrictions for this year when there are no fans in the building and just let people watch the games. It's a fucking joke that in Colorado, people can't watch the Avalanche. In Nashville, there's a situation.
These people are mutants.
In Carolina, there's a situation. And I know it's everything's so convoluted with fucking networks. And, you got the Sinclair broadcast company. They're fucking assholes. Whatever they do as far as, making the prices higher. It's just like, people just want to watch fucking hockey. Make it easy for them.
So, RA, let me ask you this. So you keep harping about this, and I agree. I want everybody who wants to watch hockey to be able to do it, especially if you're in that own city. Are they not able to watch it because if they want to watch it, they're forced to buy like cable and pay that much money when that's like really the only channel they want to buy?
Right. Well, yes, that's what it is. Because people, are getting their TV off the internet now. They're not doing traditional cable and satellite. So if you don't, then you're not getting access to these channels.
So if they purchase NHL Network, is there a chance that their game is not playing on NHL Network?
You mean the package?
There could be blackout.
Yeah, the package.
Yeah, if you get the
still
package,
could black it out, I think.
Yeah, because if it's on TV in your region, even if you can't get it on your TV, it'll still be blacked out on your fucking NHL TV. They need to figure it the fuck out this season because, again, there's no fans in the buildings. The blackout shit makes no goddamn sense.
So you think it's bullshit about the blackout and or the fact that they're forcing people to buy cable to charge them to watch a game for like $130 a month?
Yeah, and again, it's a confusing issue because it's not one thing. It's the blackout in one area, and then it's the regional sports network in another area. And yeah, people are paying to watch TV on one thing, and it's like, well, now I can't watch the game. But I think the best thing is to get NHL TV. We have it. It's awesome. You get games wherever you go, and there are blackout things. But if you're going to spend the money and you want to watch hockey, do that. Buy NHL TV. That'll guarantee. Well, again, barring blackout stuff, that'll guarantee you'll be able to watch some games. But it's just frustrating for fans, man. They're trying to watch their team and they can't. And when it's greed to, it's about money.
Yeah, they're trying to gouge the customer.
Of course.
Okay.
It sucks. But anyways, I just wanted to make these people's, concerns made, amplify them and let,
or like
whoever listens to the show,
service.
Yeah. Whoever hears the show might hear it. And hey, maybe somebody will do something and help these folks out and they could watch the fucking teams they root for. So yeah, to wrap it up, fans, I hear you. We hear you, your issues certainly, but get NHL TV. It'll probably solve all your problems, or at least most of them. But hopefully you guys are able to watch your game soon. Moving right along, the last topic we got here, NFL weekend. Awesome games last weekend. Bills Mafia, one game from the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship game. Last time they were playing the same team, the Kansas City Chiefs. You know who did the post-game interviews that game, Biz?
No.
O.J. Simpson. I don't think we're going to see him this weekend. And in the NFC, we got Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. I mean, Brady leaves the Pats, goes to the NFC. He's in the NFC Championship game with Gronk.
14th conference championship
Insane.
Game. And this would be 10 Super Bowls. He's something else.
But it won't be.
Oh, yeah. Rodgers is something else. He gets the ball out quick. He can throw it deep. He is so sick. I'm fired up for the Bills. I think the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs. Mahomes in or out. The Bills are good. The Bills are a wagon. And Josh Allen, how easy is it to root for that guy? Cannon arm. He can move around. I love the Bills. Bills-Browns would have been incredible. Andy Reid with the ballsiest of balls, the biggest of heaviest balls, going for it on that fourth down at midfield to seal the win against the Browns. RA, I will disagree with you. The games weren't great. I don't know. Like they didn't. I guess the you're thinking about some like instant classics. I don't really think we had any of those. But what?
No, I don't know. I just.
It's an exciting weekend. It's an exciting weekend, of course.
I guess that's what I meant. Although the Browns Chiefs, that ended up going down down the wire pretty much.
And seeing Breeze go out, that was tough. The video of Brady kind of hanging with them after on the field, throwing his kids a pass. It was like, Breeze, he doesn't have it anymore. He's got no arm strength. Remember Peyton at the end? Remember Peyton? They won the Super Bowl. Peyton couldn't throw the ball 10 yards then, and Breeze really can't throw it. It looked like 15 to 20. So they're playing. They were playing Michael Thomas. He didn't have one catch. So the Bucs, they're solid on D, but what a different test it's going to be with your boy Rodgers. And 20 degrees as opposed to being in a dome. Brady's older. I have no clue there. I'm not betting against Tom Brady. I hammered the Bucs money line. I needed that one Sunday evening, but. Yeah, the weekend, by the Bills moving on is just like their fan base has been so great. And to allow 7,000 of them in there, it was loud. They were shit-faced. And I'm sure that the Bills – oh, that was the other thing about the Bills. Roan at Barstool did a video. Did you see this video?
No.
Yes, he went to these Bills fans have watched the game at like one of the dude's uncle's living room. Anytime they're not there, they lose. Anytime they're there, they win. They're up there on the screen, like using their finger.
Oh, I saw that.
It's like 6-minute video worth checking out. Funny stuff. But I'm on the Bills. I'm on the Bills bandwagon. I love to see them do well. Their fan base deserves it. And I'm ready for this weekend. What's the first game? Do you know on Sunday?
Yeah, it's the NFC Brady Rogers.
Conference Championship Day is where it's at.
Yeah.
Both games are usually pretty sick for a trip to the bowl.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch, Biz?
For sure. I'm a huge Rogers fan. Actually, when I did that ice bucket challenge, he fucking directly tweeted me, DM. It was I was like, oh, dude, I was like, what? I'm like, this is, I'm a Packers fan, and this guy's a fucking star.
He gave $500K to the Barstool Fund.
I think I think he felt that Jordan meme again. I took it personal when they drafted that quarterback, and I think that I don't know, like they were probably setting themselves up for the future, thinking, maybe he's on the decline, and he's like, oh yeah, I think he's the MVP this year. A lot of people might disagree if they got maybe Henry because he was a beast as far as the running back, but I think he won one when he was young. I think he needs to win one more to really solidify his career, and I think he's going to do it. I think he's determined. I think they have the squad around him, and I like him over Tom Brady.
And classic NFL, Tyreek Hill, what a scumbag! You see him push his coach. That was like, and then the coach started laughing, and there is no chance that wasn't a serious push. And right away by the coach laughing, you can say after we were all joking around, dude, he stood up and fucking pushed him as hard as he could, it looked like. There's no chance that was a joke.
I don't know. I didn't see that. Yeah. I didn't see the other angle or anything.
And then the Kareem Hunt line, the storyline, like it's his revenge game. Dude, you kicked a woman and got released. It's not a revenge game. They didn't let you go because your legs looked a little beat up. So it's like
stupid media fucking angles.
It's fucking crazy. And the other thing that was bullshit was when I don't know who it was on the Browns fumbled it out of the end zone and it ended up being
touchback.
A touchback.
That was a helmet to helmet hit.
Brutal.
And that you see that called all the time on the quarterback and stuff. And that guy fumbled it because he got drilled in the helmet by that guy's helmet. And they didn't call it. That was a huge swing, that play.
I didn't see it. By the time I turned on the game, I did see when Chad Henne came in and he lowered the shoulder / head to get the first down.
Oh, that was balls,
which was awesome. Nice. But then they reviewed it, didn't get it, and then that was the
down dagger.
Yeah. What's the meme I'm thinking of?
The meme god today.
Am I memeing too much?
Watch Tyreek Hill push. Watch Tyreek Hill push his coach and text me if you think it was him joking around.
Okay.
Well, he laughed, and I think the coach said,
I was thinking of the Big Lebowski, by the way.
But still, it's a bad optic to have a player pushing a coach.
Hey, this episode is like how long I got held hostage at the brass rail when I thought she liked me.
Oh, shit. All right. Hey, listen, if you're a Cleveland fan, a Baltimore fan, a New Orleans fan, or an LA Rams fan, don't worry. Could always be worse. You could be a Houston Texans fan. We'll tackle that subject next week because that's a lot to get to. Also, Whit, I know you haven't watched the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO yet. I highly recommend it. We'll discuss that next episode if you get caught up. But that wraps it up, gang. It's a nice long one for you. You got a whole week to watch it. So everybody have a fantastic week. Enjoy some hockey, and we'll be back.
Peace.
Bop, doop,
Beep it up,
doop, bop.